Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Deku had his heart broken part 1. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see part 2, comment down below and let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and check out the description in my playlist. The author of the story 𝗬𝗵𝗲 from Wattpad. So let's start the video. Izuku's POV. I was asked by my homeroom teacher, Mr. Aizawa, to meet him and All Might in the teacher's office. When I was about to enter the office, I overheard All Might and Aizawa discussing something. They were talking about the best hero school of the world and someone from our class getting the opportunity to study there. It piqued my interest as I wondered who from our class had the opportunity to study there. I had a feeling it might be Kaken or Todoroki since they're the strongest in our class. I couldn't help but wonder what this meant for them. As I knocked on the door, I heard All Might's voice inviting me in. I stepped inside and saw a mix of emotions on All Might's face. It seemed like he was both happy and sad at the same time. I tried to push away my confusion about why they had asked me to meet them after class. I wondered if I had made a mistake or if it had something to do with the injuries I sustained during training earlier. I couldn't help but mumble my thoughts out loud, and it seemed like they heard me because they quickly reassured me that it wasn't because of those things. Feeling a bit nervous, I took a seat in front of them. Mr. Aizawa then addressed me as the problem child and told me they had some good news for me. I was taken aback, wondering what it could possibly be that they couldn't share with me in class. The anticipation built up inside me as I waited for them to reveal the surprising news. Young Midoriya, All Might said, snapping me out of my pool of thoughts. 𝗬𝗵𝗲, what is the good news? I stammered, still trying to gather my thoughts. Problem child, would you like to go to America? Aizawa asked. I was taken aback by the sudden question and blurted out, why? Without thinking. All Might took a moment before replying, well, firstly, your mom has become the CEO of the best design company in America. You can think of any company name you want. I remembered my mom mentioning her achievement just yesterday. And secondly, All Might continued, the best hero school in the world, American UA, would like you to be their student. We, the teachers, believe this is a great opportunity for your bright future. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The idea of studying at the best hero school in the world was overwhelming. I sat in silence for about a minute, processing everything. I needed some time to think. We won't force you, think hard and make your decision, but you only have 2 days, Aizawa said, breaking the silence. I nodded, indicating that I understood. I thanked them for the opportunity and told them I needed some time to think and discuss this with my friends. Leaving the teacher's office, I felt a mix of excitement and uncertainty. This was a life-changing decision, and I needed to weigh the pros and cons. I couldn't wait to share the news with my friends and girlfriends, seek their advice. The next 2 days were going to be crucial in determining my future path. I came back to the dorm, went straight to my room, and locked the door. I called my mom and told her everything. She advised me to make a wise decision since it's about my future. We discussed it for a while and then I hung up. It was around 6:30 p.m. and my mind was filled with thoughts of Uraraka. Yup, we're dating. She's the love of my life, and I wanted to share everything with her. To be honest, I really didn't want to go to America. I couldn't imagine leaving everyone here, especially Uraraka. They mean the world to me. So, I made my way towards Uraraka's room, not bothering to knock and just opening the door like I always do. But what I saw inside shocked me more than the news itself. I couldn't believe my eyes. Uraraka was kissing Kaken. What am I seeing now? No, it can't be. I must be dreaming, I thought to myself, desperately trying to make sense of it all. I had always trusted Uraraka, believing she would never cheat on me. But in this moment, my heart shattered as Kaken said, "Oh, Deku. Get the F away from here. Can't you see we're busy, nerd?" Feeling completely shattered, I apologized for the disturbance and quickly ran away from there, back to my room. I locked the door behind me and collapsed onto my bed, tears streaming down my face. Now I was faced with a difficult decision. Should I still consider moving to America? I couldn't help but wonder why Uraraka would do this to me. I loved her so much, and this betrayal cut deep. I knew I needed to talk to her, to confront her about what I saw. But right now, my heart was broken, and I was left with a whirlwind of emotions. Third person's POV. Next morning. It was Sunday. Izuku woke up and couldn't stop thinking about what happened yesterday. He needed to talk to Uraraka first and find out the truth. Maybe Kaken forced or blackmailed her into doing it because he knew she would never cheat on him. As these thoughts swirled in his mind, Izuku made his way towards the common room. To his surprise, he found Bakugo, Iida, Uraraka, Momo, and Todoroki sitting together, engaged in a deep conversation. Izuku hesitated for a moment, unsure of how to approach the situation. But he knew he had to confront Uraraka and get to the bottom of things. Izuku's POV. I went downstairs, trying to shake off my thoughts. As I approached the common room, I could hear my name being mentioned in the ongoing conversation. Curiosity got the better of me. Hey guys, what a yo dash, I tried to interrupt, but they didn't hear me. However, something they said caught my attention, and I became even more intrigued. I quieted down and focused on their conversation, eager to find out what they were saying about me, and I decided to eavesdrop, hiding myself so they wouldn't notice me. On a normal day, I wouldn't resort to such tactics, but after what happened yesterday, I couldn't help but feel uneasy. Thoughts like, what if she was cheating on me from the start, plagued my mind, intensifying my need to know what they were discussing. I listened intently, hoping to catch any clues or hints that would shed light on the situation. It was a risky move, but I couldn't resist the urge to uncover the truth. My heart sank as I overheard Todoroki's words. Well, to be completely honest, he is so annoying with that mumbling and all the stupid questions he keeps on asking about our quirks. It just gets on my nerves. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Todoroki, whom I admired and considered a friend, was speaking negatively about me. It felt like a betrayal. And then Iida chimed in, adding, yeah, Midoriya can be so unheroic sometimes. I don't know how the pro heroes can allow such an unheroic student in the UA. It was like a punch to the gut. I had always looked up to him, and now it seemed that he saw me in a completely different light. But the final blow came from Uraraka. Thank God I'm not alone. He is really clingy. I just hate it. He always acts like a cinnamon roll. I just hate that. Uraraka, who I thought would defend me, also joined in the criticism. It felt like my world was crumbling around me. I couldn't understand why they were saying these things about me. Had I done something wrong? Was I really that annoying? Doubt and sadness consumed me as I tried to process their words. I felt hurt and betrayed, questioning the authenticity of our friendships. Bakugo, yeah, that nerd. It was quite something when he found out about us yesterday. It was interesting to see him upset after witnessing his girlfriend and childhood friend together. Ha. Uraraka. Absolutely. Ha. Momo, you should have captured that moment so we could have all shared it. Seeing Deku in tears. I bet he didn't even realize that you were cheating on him all along. I bet he probably still believes that you did it because Bakugo pressured you and you're still in love with him. 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗍. My heart sank even further as I listened to their cruel words. So, she was cheating on me from the start. How could I have been so blind? The pain and betrayal I feel are overwhelming. I couldn't bear to hear any more of their hurtful comments. But then, a voice of reason broke through the chaos. Kirishima and Kaminari spoke up, saying, "What the F? Are you all crazy or what? Why would you do that to him? He is so nice to you all. He even helped you when you all were in trouble." I couldn't believe my ears. There were still people who hadn't abandoned me, who saw through the lies and deceit. Just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, Mina and Jdźru suddenly hugged me from behind. Their support meant the world to me in that dark moment. Mina and Jdźru, don't cry, we're with ya. Don't let those jerks get to ya. I let out a little laugh, grateful for their support. They guided me to my room, making sure I was okay. Mina, Jdźru, Kirishima, and Kaminari stayed with me until I stopped crying. Their presence meant the world to me in that moment of despair. Feeling fed up with the constant bullying, I made up my mind to leave it all behind and start fresh in America. I picked up the phone and called my mom, sharing my decision with her. Inko's POV: I was in the kitchen when suddenly my phone rang. I wondered who could be calling at this time, during lunch. When I saw that it was Izuku, I quickly picked up the phone because he never calls at this hour. Onkole, inko Izuku hello, Izuku-san. Hello. What happened? Are you alright? Heard him sobbing, who dared to make my Izu cry? Pouting face 𝗵𝗃 loudly crying face. I don't want to live here anymore. He said and started crying even more Izuku-san. What happened? Why you crying? Izu, tell me what happened. Are you alright? Did someone bully you? Izu, he is just crying and not saying anything, and it worried me. Mom, I have decided. I think I should use this opportunity to study at the best hero school. He said as he stopped crying. Okay, but tell me, why did you decide this all of a sudden? What about your friends and Uraraka? And you were hesitating when I mentioned the CEO position. What happened, Ice? Tell me honestly. Silent. Mom, we broke up. He explained everything about how Bakugo, Ida, Uraraka, and some other students were bad-mouthing him and how she was cheating on him. Okay, Izu, let's move to America. I am really angry at them, and I am worried that if Izu didn't move on, he would hurt himself even more. We can start fresh there. Mom, when are we moving? Like I told you before, my flight is tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So, do you want to go together? I can book your ticket now. Or do you want to go a few days later? So soon? I'll go with you, and I'll let all the teachers know that I have decided to take the opportunity to study in the best hero school, the American UA. Alright, Izu. Start packing your stuff, and I'll do the same. In the evening, I'll come to your school to talk about transferring. Thank you so much. I'm your mom, I can do at least this much for ya. Plus, I got this job, so we're gonna have an amazing life in America. Just look forward to it, guys. Now bye. Pack your stuff, and I'll do the same. Face blowing a kiss bye mom. Face blowing a kiss call ended. How dare they bully my Izu. I gotta talk to Aizawa and All Might about this. I ain't gonna let them get away with it. This time I'll never allow anyone to bully you, and I'm not gonna listen to you either, Izu. You're my precious child. And Katsuki, I'm not gonna leave you this time. After talking with his mom, Izuku started packing his things, his mind filled with thoughts of what his mom had said. He made a firm decision. He wouldn't shed any more tears over the bullies. Instead, he would find the strength within himself to move on and rise above their cruelty. Time skip. Third person's POV. He finished packing his things, and now it's almost 6:30 p.m. It's time for his mom to come and talk to the teachers about his transfer. So, he went to the common room to grab some snacks quickly because he was hungry. He hadn't eaten anything since morning. As he headed towards the kitchen, something unexpected happened. Bakugo, nerd. Bring me some food too, or I'll kill you, Izuku. Don't you have your own legs and hands? Go and take it yourself, Bakugo, ignoring the shocked faces. 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏. I saw Deku coming towards the common room, so I thought maybe he would come towards me crying like, Uraraka, I know you can't do this, they must have forced you. But he's not even looking at me. Then I hear Bakugo shouting at Deku, so I thought maybe he'll cry now. But he just talks back to Bakugo and calls him Bakugo. It shocked me. Like he just talks back to him and he didn't call him Kaken. Hey, how could you just ignore use? So rude. At least greet us. That's really rude behavior. I hope Ito was here so he could teach you some manners, and yeah, bring food for me too, nerd. Hearing this, Izuku looked at me with an irritating face. Oi, ugly two-face beach, didn't you hear what I just said? Go and take it, don't you have hands and legs? And don't you dare call me Deku or nerd, I have a name you beach. Yes, now I don't even have any appetite. What did I just hear? Did he just curse, and not just one time? And he just cursed me and raised his voice at me. Bakugo's POV. Wait, hold on. Did he just call me Bakugo? And did he actually talk back to me without any fear in his eyes? As I'm processing these thoughts, all of a sudden, I hear Deku cursing and raising his voice against Uraraka. I'm taken aback by the whole situation. I didn't even realize that Deku had left the dorm. When I finally come back to my senses, I'm filled with anger. How could that nerd just talk back to me like that? I feel Uraraka coming towards me for a kiss. I just pushed her away. Oi, beach, stay away from me. I know you're just a slot, As I said this, I went to my room in anger. Izuku's POV, I was heading towards my room, feeling completely disheartened by the whole situation with that annoying beach and that But then, out of the blue, my phone started ringing. On the call, Izuku. Hello. Mom? Oh, Izuku-kun, I'm at your school, in the teacher's room, having a conversation with your homeroom teacher and All Might. They want to talk to you about something. Izuku. Okay. I'm on my way. Bye. Mom, bye. Call ended. I completely forgot that my mom was coming because of those two F-airs. Sigh, I quickly brushed away those thoughts and made my way to the common room. And what do I see there? Uraraka is about to kiss Bakugo. I just can't believe I was dating someone like this beach. I ignored them and left the dorm. They also didn't notice me, and how would they when they are busy eating each other? Disgusting rolled his eyes. I went towards the teacher's room and heard them say, "Come in," so I entered. Aizawa and All Might asked, "What happened?" I was confused, but they could see right through me. They knew me well enough to know that I would never leave my girlfriend and friends behind. So, I gathered my courage and started explaining every single detail to them. My eyes started to well up with tears, and my lips were trembling. "Hurts," I confessed, my voice filled with a mixture of pain and resentment. No matter how much I despise her now, I can't deny that I truly loved her. As I slowly turned to look at my mom, seeking support and understanding, she nodded, silently urging me to continue. And so, I began to recount every single detail of the ordeal, laying bare the betrayal and heartache I had experienced. Aizawa and All Might listened intently, their anger growing with each passing word. They were ready to expel those two troublemakers from to ensure justice was served. But I couldn't bear the thought of them being expelled, even in the face of their betrayal. But then, unexpectedly, my mom spoke up to them. She said, "Mr. Aizawa, since Izuku doesn't want them expelled, you shouldn't either. However, since they dared to hurt my son, you should show them what hell looks like." Aizawa. "Yeah, Mrs. Midoriya, don't worry, I'm already planning for it." With a devilish smirk, I was kinda worried what they were going to face before I took my revenge. Third person's POV. Izuku is in his room now. He went to a restaurant with his mom and had dinner, so he's sleeping. He got tired after the whole day, so he fell asleep quickly. He also has to wake up early tomorrow. Sleep well, Izuku. Crescent moon sparkles. Next morning, it's 6 a.m. Izuku woke up and went through his morning routine before heading to the kitchen to grab something to eat. Finding the common room empty, he felt a sense of relief. After breakfast, as he was walking back to his room, he accidentally bumped into someone. To his surprise, it was Kirishima. "Kirishima, sorry, I didn't see you there getting up." "Oh, Izuku, it's you. What are you doing up so early? Classes start at 10 a.m. I don't know their actual school time. Izuku remembered that he hadn't told them anything, so he shared everything with Kirishima since he had been there for him during his hard times, and Izuku trusted him. Kirishima, what? You're moving to America today in just 3 hours, and you didn't say anything to me. I know you got the offer and all these things happened, but you didn't mention you're moving today. Izuku, I just didn't find the right time to tell you all about this. So, can you bring the other 3 to my room? I want to spend the remaining time with all of you." As they hung out with Izuku, the girls gave him some lectures, and the boys got all pouty, demanding that Izuku WHP up breakfast for them since he hadn't spilled the beans earlier. They played games, chatted away, shed tears while hugging. Izuku cooked breakfast for them one last time, and time slipped by in this manner. It's now 8:30 a.m., and Izuku's mom is already here to whisk him off to the airport for their 9:30 a.m. flight. Izuku hugged each teacher and all his true friends. Tears flowed freely as everyone bid farewell to their beloved person, child, friend who was departing. Deep inside, they harbored anger towards those responsible for his departure. Izuku handed each teacher a small gift, expressing his gratitude for their guidance. To All Might, he presented a photo of them both, dressed in matching outfits. As they exchanged gifts, emotions ran high. The teachers were touched by Izuku's thoughtfulness, and All Might was visibly moved by the photo, a symbol of their bond and shared experiences. It was a moment of heartfelt connection amidst the bittersweet farewell. Izuku also gifted his friends, Mina, 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗂𝗵𝗃 and 𝗔𝗪𝗠, with small tokens of appreciation for Izuku, also gifted his friends Mina, 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗂𝗵𝗃 and 𝗔𝗪𝗠 with small tokens of appreciation. In return, the four friends surprised Izuku with a photo they had drawn of him at the last moment. The exchange of gifts was filled with warmth and fondness. Mina, 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗂𝗵𝗃 and 𝗔𝗪𝗠's gestures touched Izuku deeply, showcasing their friendship and the memories they shared. It was a poignant moment of camaraderie and affection as they prepared to part ways. Too, Izuku's eyes welled up with tears as he gazed at the heartfelt drawing. Overwhelmed by emotions, they embraced tightly, tears streaming down their cheeks. As Izuku bid farewell to the 𝗎𝗏, departing for a new chapter in their life, the weight of the moment hung heavy in the air. It was a poignant goodbye, filled with memories, gratitude, and the promise of new beginnings. Third person's POV. As the flight prepared for takeoff, Izuku's mind wandered back to his time at 𝗎𝗏. He grappled with the realization that those he believed to be his closest friends had betrayed him, while unexpectedly finding solace in those he seldom spoke to, who now stood as his pillars of support during challenging times. Shaking off these thoughts, a sudden impulse struck Izuku. In a spur-of-the-moment decision, he decided to create an Instagram account under the name Izuku. His Insta ID later will be 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗍. Capturing a photo of the plane, his reasons unclear even to himself, he shared it on his new account downwards button. Liked by 𝗓𝗏𝗍𝗍, Beach and 8 others. Izuku. Beaches wait for me. View 12 comments. 𝗓𝗏𝗍𝗍. Where are you going? Beach Izuku. Izuku. I'm coming back to America dumbass. Beach F for real 𝗓𝗏𝗍𝗍. The hell? Change the ACC name. Beach it's so not you. Hey, did I mention that Izuku has 2 cousins in America? They're not your typical relatives, they're more like best buddies than cousins. Plus, they're the same age. Exciting, right? In group chat, 𝗵𝗏𝗍𝗏 at 𝗓𝗏𝗍𝗏. Hey guys. 𝗎𝗏 is coming back. Did anyone knew about it? Worst. Beach OFC not beach. 𝗵𝗃𝗲. How come I don't know? At always. Corny, nobody knew about it. Izuku didn't tell us IG. At 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, except me woman raising hand light skin tone at 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏. How come you know that but I don't? And why the hell you didn't tell us? At 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, 'cause nobody asked me and auntie told me when I called her yesterday. Unamused face. Worst. Beach, Izuku I can see you're online. Why aren't you replying? I'm thinking about a name for my ACC, as some Beach told me to at Izuku. At worst. Beach. How about 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗏? Okay IG, at Izuku. So is it okay now, at 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗏 at 𝗵𝗃𝗲? Wait, you have Insta now. How come I don't know about this too? At always. Corny, now you know so just follow it dumbass. And where is the other dumbass? At 𝗵𝗃𝗲, oh James's play game. Worst. Beach, what about Katie and Belly? At 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, 'cause of their nasty scream I can't sleep all night. At worst. Beach, those corny beaches. What the F? Stop it, don't make me feel single you F-airs, at 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗏. Okay now bye and follow me on Insta and tell the other F-airs too, at 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗏 at 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. Okay and bye. Hey, did I forget to mention that Izuku is chummy with his cousin's high school pals, and yeah, he's not afraid to curse around them. Back in Japan, he played it safe and was as sweet as pie, but now he's letting loose. And get this, Izuku's dad is the wealthiest person in America, followed by Izuna's dad in second place, and Izumi's dad in third. Quite the rich hierarchy, right? Now his ACC name is at 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗏 and he did follow his 𝗎𝗏. A friend's Izuku's American friends account name at 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Izuku Midoriya at worst. Beach, Izuku Midoriya at 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗏𝗏, Jake at always. Corny, William at 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏s, Kelly at 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏s, Belly at 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏s. Kat, Katrina at Greeniest Life, James at 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗏. Izuku and Yue's ACC gonna be their names. Simple, can't think any really lazy. Izuku's POV I just posted on my new account. And followed my cousins and some American friends. Suddenly I started getting likes and comments. It was from Izuna and Izumi. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I completely forgot to tell them that I'm moving back. They're gonna be so mad at me, oh geez. While I was replying to their comments, 𝗧𝗏 suggested I change my account name, and I thought, yeah, why was I even using that name anyway? I was brainstorming some cool new names when notifications started flooding in. So, I was lost in thought about my new account name, totally ignoring the group chat. But then, out of the blue, Izumi exploded with messages because, you can't ignore Izumi and get away with it. I quickly replied because ignoring Izumi is like signing your own death warrant. I guess she spilled the beans in the group that I'm coming back. Now I'm definitely in for it, I muttered nervously. Then, Izumi came through with a brilliant suggestion for a name, claiming it would be even better than Izuku's. So, I made the change. Surprisingly, I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. I guess a good name change can do wonders. Izuku's thoughts: why isn't James messaging me? Pouty face. Oh, he's gaming spots Jake's message. Wait, why am I still thinking about him? I can't figure out why he occupies my mind so much, and my heart races at the mere thought of seeing James. I have to admit, he's really good-looking and totally my type. Sometimes Izumi and 𝗧𝗏 tease me with his name, and I'm just lost. Whatever. Time to hit the hay. Third person's POV. After the flight, as Izuku stepped out of the airport, he breathed in the fresh air. It felt like a blend of new and old, unknown yet strangely familiar. He was filled with an incredible feeling, not a bad one, but a good one. It seemed like a fresh start with echoes of the past. Izuku felt rejuvenated but also weary after the journey. Izuku was waiting for his father when suddenly, everyone gasped in shock as the #1 hero of America and the richest man emerged from the airport. At first, he was confused, but then he remembered who his father was. He spotted his father stepping out of his car, dropped all his bags, and sprinted towards him, embracing him tightly. "I missed you, Dad. I missed you so much," he exclaimed as they both hugged each other for a good 5 minutes. After they broke the hug, they heard his mom clear her throat, ahem, drawing their attention. She pointed towards the shocked people and reporters. "Dad instructed me and Mom to wait inside the car while he dealt with the reporters who knows where they came from." Woman shrugging light skin tone. After about 30 minutes, Dad joined us in the car, and we headed home. The car downwards button. Mom: "Darling, why did you bring this one? You should have brought the regular car so we could have gotten home sooner." Mom: "Darling, why did you bring this one? You should have brought the regular car so we could have gotten home sooner." Izuku: "Yeah, Dad, everyone knows all your personal cars. You should have brought the regular one." "Dad, I wanted to show all of America that my son is back. That's why I brought my most popular car." Smirking. "He really is the best dad in the world and crazy too, I guess," Izuku thought. Time skip. They finally arrived home. Izuku stepped out of the car, a look of confusion on his face. "Dad, where are we?" he asked, puzzled. Dad replied, "This is a small gift for you, my dearest son, as you have returned after 3 whole years. That's why a small gift." Izuku was taken aback, wondering who gives a mansion as a gift. Dad, I'm tired and not in the mood for a joke. Can we go home?" Izuku said wearily. 𝗧𝗏 chimed in, "No, Izuku, it's not a joke." 𝗧𝗏 said as she emerged from the so-called gifted house with Izumi, Jake, Kelly, and Belly. "Well, now I know it's not a joke, and my dad really gave me this house as a gift, like a freaking mansion. But James is not here, I guess," Izuku thought, a little sad. "Thanks, Dad, thanks for the gift. I love it," Izuku expressed his gratitude. Izuku hugged his friends and sisters, and they all entered the new house. Izuku's house downwards button. Izuku thought to himself, "Yup, it's my own mansion." Izuku thought to himself, "Yup, it's my own mansion. Own means my freaking own personal mansion. Hell yeah." As he entered, the butler came and took his bags, heading upstairs. 𝗧𝗏 and Izumi chimed in. "Izuku/Izu, we decorated your room so don't worry." Izuku was relieved. "Well, that's great as I don't have to waste 2 to 3 hours decorating it, and now I can rest more." The maids served our food. As we ate, we chit-chat about our daily lives. After eating, Mom and Dad went to their own mansion/home. Their mansion downwards button. It's just a 15-minute car ride from Izuku's mansion to his parents' mansion. It's just a 15-minute car ride from Izuku's mansion to his parents' mansion. Izuku's parents went to their house. He asked his friends to stay the night, and they all agreed. They were all exhausted. Izuku was tired from the journey, while his friends were tired because Izumi, Jake, and Kelly spent 4 hours decorating Izuku's room, and Izuna and Belly spent 5 hours shopping for a whole new wardrobe. They picked out the best clothes that Izuku liked. They were all so tired that they didn't argue and just went to the first rooms they saw. Izumi and Jake went to one room. Kelly preferred to sleep alone for the silence, and Belly and Izuna took the front room. Izuku went to his room, and they all fell asleep quickly as it was already nighttime. Izuku's POV: as I said goodbye to my mom and dad, I walked inside and saw my friends and cousins looking really tired. Well, they did so much for me, so of course they would be tired. I told them to stay for the night, and they accepted. I guess they are really exhausted. They all went to whichever room they found, and I went to my room. I was shocked at how beautifully they had arranged everything, but I was so tired that I quickly fell asleep in my comfy bed. Name: 𝗵𝗃𝗲 𝗵𝗃𝗲 13. Name: 𝗵𝗃𝗲 Age: 15. Height: 6'4". Dating: Izuku. Gay cousin: Jake. Quirk: Shadow, telekinesis. Shadow: he can go into anyone's shadow. Can create weapons like blade, dagger, etc. If he practice more, he can do more things and can turn himself into a shadow. Drawback: if use more than can't see for 30 minutes. Telekinesis: can move any object through his mind. Now can only move small object, but with practice he can move anything he want. Drawback: feel dizzy and blackout. But if he practice more, drawback will be none. Name: 𝗧𝗵𝗲 Age: 15. Height: 6'3". Dating: Izumi. Straight cousin: James. Quirk: invisibility, telekinesis. Invisibility: if he want, he can make anything he touches invisible. He can make any body part of his invisible. But with practice he can get invisible. Drawback: dizzy telekinesis, same as James cause they are cousin and all family members have this quirk. Drawback: same as James. Drawback: same as James. Name: Izuku Midoriya Angel Wings. Age: 15. Height: 5'4". Dating: Jake. Straight cousins: Izuku, Izuna. Quirk: Angel's Blessings, mind control. Angel's Blessing: she can get wings and a halo. Can use do healing. Can create blade of light. When use, eyes turn white and a tattoo appear on her back. Drawback: if she overuse it, start bleeding from her back where the wings pop up. But with more practice she can mstr it. Mind control: same as she knows but more stronger and hard to get free. Drawback: if use more can cause to lose mind. Use more can cause to lose mind. Name: Izuna Midoriya at worst. Beach. Age: 15. Height: 5'5". Dating: non-aromantic cousin: Izumi, Izuku. Quirk: Demon's Blessings, nightmare. Demon's Blessings: she can get wings, a tail, horns. Can use black slash. Can create black blades. Eyes turn red and a demon tattoo appears on her back. Drawback: same as Izumi. Nightmare: can make you dream about anything she want. Drawback: if use more she fell asleep for half a day. Drawback: if use more she fell asleep for half a day. One. Name: 𝗵𝗃𝗲 Age: 15. Height: 5'1". Dating: non-lesbian, has a crush on someone for a long time but don't want to ask her out cause she is lazy. Sister: Belly's twin. Quirk: copy, confession. Copy: she can copy anyone's quirk as long as she make eye contact for 5 seconds and can use their powers for a day. Drawback: limitation 5 quirk per day. Can increase the number with practice. Confession: allows its user to draw out truth from anyone after making eye contact for 5 seconds. Drawback: can't use it on someone more powerful than her or else BLD will come out of her eyes. Name: 𝗵𝗃𝗲 Name: 𝗵𝗃𝗲 Age: 15. Height: 5'1". Dating: Katrina. Bisexual sister, Kelly's twin. Quirk: Blood Curdle. Blood Curdle: allow the user to temporarily paralyze their opponent by ingesting samples of their BLD. Only requires her tongue to make contact with a small amount of a person's BLD, regardless of where and how it's found. Just like Stains but more powerful. Drawback: can't use on someone who is stronger than her. Drawback: Can't use on someone who is stronger than her name. Katrina upwards button at Ellie's. Cat age, 15 height, 5'5" dating, belly. Queer sexual quirk, rewind. Rewind, unique ability to rewind time, stop time, granting her the ability to either heal damage or revert others into a state of non-existence. Just like Ares, but she can control it well. Drawback, if 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗲 forgot some of her memories. Drawback, if 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗲 forgot some of her memories name, William upwards button at always. Corny age, 15 height, 6'1" dating, always changing partner. Bisexual quirk, foresight, animal taming. Foresight, allow him to see someone's future. In order to activate the quirk he need to touch and make eye contact with the target. He is a hand-to-hand fighter. Drawback, he can only use it on 5 people per day, after that he can't use it for a day. But with practice he can use it for more. Animal taming, can tame animals and then summon them for fight for 30 minutes. Drawback, none name. Izuku Midoriya upwards button at 𝗵𝗃𝗁 name. Izuku Midoriya upwards button at 𝗵𝗃𝗁 age, 15 height, 5'6'5". 11 in the future dating, James. Pansexual quirk, demons blessings, angels blessings, OFA, danger sense. Guess what he activated a bonus package 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Demons and angels blessings, same as his cousins Izuna and Izumi. Drawback, also same as his cousins. But less cause he can use it more effectively than them. Oh, all of you already know about this, but now at present he can use 40%. Drawback, same as show in the series. Danger sense, he can sense any danger at some distance. For now he can sense about 6 kilometers. Drawback, none. Demons blessings appearance downwards button. Demons blessings appearance downwards button. Angels blessing appearance downwards button. Ignore the uniform, only they hair with white eyes. Ignore the uniform, only they hair with white eyes. His appearance change after he get his real quirk when he turned 15, and he didn't tell any you. Students and teachers, not even all might. He get this quirks after 1 month of you. Entrance exam he can change his appearance to green hair one, which he did when he was in you. So this are his real appearance when activating quirk, and for normal the first pick with black and white hair mix and red eyes. Bakugo's POV. I woke up at 8:30 a.m., did my morning routine, and got ready for class. Suddenly, I heard some sobbing sounds. I walked towards the common room and saw Kirishima, Kaminari, Jdź, and Mina crying. I chimed in, "What the heck, extras? Why you crying so early in the morning? You're disturbing me." They all glared at me and headed back to their own rooms. Bakugo, what the heck, did you all extras just ignore me? Can't you just keep that mouth shut? You're so loud and annoying. Bakugo, did you just call me annoying? Do you have a death wish, earphones? Mina, hey, let's go to our rooms. It's getting annoying. Bakugo, what the hell? Just wait in class, I will kill you all. I was so frustrated. They just ignored me and went to their rooms. I will beat that nerd in class to vent out my anger. Time skip. Classroom, Urarake's POV. I noticed that Izuku was not in class today, and Mr. Aizawa didn't say anything either. Also, Kirishima, Kaminari, Jdź, and Mina all looked sad and were giving me weird looks. I thought I should talk to them. That annoying guy must have said something to them about me. Urarake, hey guys. Do you know where Deku is? He didn't say anything to me. I miss him. With sad face the four thinking, wow, she really can act, huh? If we didn't saw what she was talking about Izuku, we would have believed her now. Mina, no, we don't know, and please don't bother us rudely. Jdź, also, we don't want to talk with you rudely. Urarake, why are you all talking to me like this? Did I do something? With tears Mina, hey, Kirishima and Kaminari, let's go. I'm hungry. Kirishima, yeah, let's go. I also don't want to talk to a slot. Urarake, did you just call me a slot? Kirishima, I never said anyone's name. But the slot guessed now who she is. Ida, hey, you can't talk to your friends like that. It's not very heroic. Kaminari, hey Fries, can't you just shut that mouth of yours? It smells like CRP. Urarake, hey Ida, they are leaving the class and class isn't even over. Ida, guys, you can't leave the class when it's not over. It's not heroic, and you didn't even ask the teachers. Mr. Aizawa, I didn't say anything to them for going outside, then what's your problem? Ida, but sir, it's still very unheroic to go outside without saying anything, just like Midoriya. He didn't even come to class today and didn't inform me as I'm the class president. That's very unheroic of him. Mr. Aizawa, and who told you that he didn't inform? Why does he have to inform you, and why do you care whether he came or not? It's none of your business. Ida, boo. But sir. Mr. Aizawa, shut up with a deadly glare. Ida didn't say anything and went to his seat quietly. I did the same. But where the heck is Deku? Uraraka, sir, where is Deku? Bakugo, yeah, where is that nerd? I want to beat him to vent my frustrations from the morning. Mr. Aizawa, none of your business from his sleeping bag. 1 week later, Todoroki's POV. I was thinking about that day when Mr. Aizawa scolded Ida and Uraraka. I noticed he also gave them a deadly glare. Todoroki. Guys, does anyone know where Midoriya is? Kirishima, I guess it's none of your business. Todoroki, did they kick him out of the school with a smirk? Mina, if they want to kick someone out, the first one will be you. Todoroki, what did you say? Jdź, hey guys, keep quiet. Don't waste your energy on them. Let's go, it's training time, Mr. Aizawa is calling us. Todoroki, don't lie, he didn't say anything to us. Kirishima, 'cause we're training differently than you all. With an emotionless face. Todoroki, what do you mean? They didn't train us for a week. Jdź, are you all coming or not? Other 3, coming. Todoroki thinking, what the hell were they talking about? They train differently from us, but we haven't been called for training for a week now, and Mr. Aizawa hasn't taken our class for a week either. I should talk with the others about this. Third person's POV. Todoroki went to Bakugo's room and saw Uraraka, Ida, Momo, Tokoyami, and Ojiro. Todoroki, hey guys, did anyone know that Kirishima, Kaminari, Jdź, and Mina get separate training from us? Uraraka, what training? We haven't had any for a week. Momo, yeah, ever since Deku went missing. Bakugo, don't say that nerd's name in my room, and what the hell are you talking about? Half and half. Todoroki, I just met them, and they said Mr. Aizawa called them for training. I asked why we didn't get any, and they mentioned that they receive special and separate training from us, and they've had training sessions all week. Bakugo, what the heck, why didn't we get any then? Ida, I must talk with the teachers. This is not a very heroic thing to do. Ojiro, yeah, let's go. They all went to the teacher's room to discuss this. Only Ida and Todoroki entered, the rest were standing outside. But as they entered, they felt a deadly glare from the teachers. Ida, you can't do this to us, we are heroes in training. All Might, and what are you talking about? Ida, this glare that you all gave us and about our training. Said while shaking. They were all shaking in fear because after this, they received an even more deadly glare. Mr. Aizawa, oh, what are you all doing here? You don't have any classes or training. You can leave. Todoroki, that's why we came. We want to know why we aren't getting any training while those 4 get special training. All Might, oh, so you want training? You should have said that earlier. Principal Nizu, yes, All Might will train all of you from now on. Appearing out of nowhere. Todoroki thinking, it somehow doesn't feel right. All Might, okay, now you may leave, and starting tomorrow, your special training will begin. So, rest up today as much as you can. With a smirk, all 7 together. At the dorm room, Todoroki was the first to voice his concerns. Hey, somehow I think All Might threatened us. Uraraka nodded in agreement. Yeah, I think the same too. I can feel it from his voice. Bakugo, always brash, retorted, who cares, we will get that special training from tomorrow, so go and sleep extras. With that, he stormed off to his room. The rest of the group exchanged glances and then decided, yeah, let's go and sleep. From tomorrow, we will start our training too. As they settled in for the night, little did they know what challenges awaited them in their upcoming training with All Might. Time skip. Next day, Bakugo exploded, what the heck is this training? Uraraka chimed in, yeah, do you want to kill us? All Might calmly replied, but you wanted this special training. Todoroki questioned, then why are they doing something else? Pointing towards Kirishima, Kaminari, 𝗔𝗂𝗁𝗍 explained, "Oh, they are training on something else." Bakugo insisted, "We want that training too." All Might's tone shifted, "Just do what I told you and fight with me." Their training is to fight with All Might, and he will not hold back. Bakugo, Uraraka, Todoroki, and the rest were trembling with fear as their hellish training began. Each day, they endured relentless beatings from All Might and the other heroes. The punishment was so severe that they found themselves in the infirmary for weeks on end. When villains attacked, the teachers turned a blind eye to these students and prioritized helping others. Meanwhile, Kirishima, Kaminari, Jairu, and Mina were undergoing separate special training, growing stronger by the day compared to the rest of Class 1A. And so, that's how they spent their time in 1A, facing grueling challenges. Izuku's POV: It's been 2 weeks since I moved to America. I have to say, it's much better than Japan, and the American you feels a lot more relaxed. Somehow, I've also officially become part of my sister's group, and, strangely enough, I ended up as their leader. They tend to clash with each other constantly, and for some reason, I'm the only one who can calm them down. Plus, I discovered I'm the strongest in the group, which probably helps. In call Mom, "Good morning, sweetheart." Izuku, "Morning, Mom." Mom, "How are you feeling in America? Have you adjusted well?" Izuku, "Yup, America's been amazing. It's a lot better than Japan, and thanks to Izumi, Izuna, and their friends, I don't even feel like the new kid." Mom, "That's a relief to hear. So, have you been able to make friends with everyone? And you're not feeling down about, that incident?" Izuku, "No, Mom, I'm honestly doing fine. I've actually made some awesome friends here. They're all really amazing, so don't worry about me." Mom, "Oh, that's so good to hear. By the way, your dad finished all the transfer work from Japan's U to the American U. Your classes start tomorrow, so make the most of today." Izuku, "Wait, really? Finally. I was getting so bored at home. You should have told me earlier." Laughing, "Now go tell your friends the good news. Bye. Izuku, bye, Ma. Love you." Call ended. Izuku felt his excitement build as he ended the call. Standing up, he took a deep breath, grinning with renewed energy. Izuku, "Hey, you bunch of slackers. Wake up and come downstairs. I've got some news for you." He could already picture the chaos of them rushing down, half awake and confused. But this was going to be worth it. Everyone began stumbling downstairs, groggy and a bit irritable. Izuna squinted at him, still half asleep. "What is it, D-head?" Izumi trailed behind, rubbing her eyes and yawning. "This better be good, or I'll kill you for waking me up this early." Izuku raised an eyebrow, smirking. "It's 1 p.m. How is that early?" Jake stretched, clearly feeling the effects of their late night. "Come on, Izuku. We fell asleep at 6 this morning." Izuku's grin turned mischievous. "Oh, and just what were you two up to at that hour?" he teased, raising his eyebrows suggestively. William groaned, cutting in. "Alright, just spill it. What's the good news?" Before Izuku could answer, Belly gasped dramatically. "Wait, don't tell me you're 𝗵𝗃𝗏." She whirled on James. "James, what have you done to our precious little Izuku?" James sputtered, his face flushing as he stammered, "What the hell are you even talking about?" Izuku's face went bright red. "Hey, it's nothing like that. And besides, how could I be 𝗵𝗃𝗏, you idiot?" Belly blinked, then laughed, realizing her mistake. "Oh right, you're a boy." Izuku cleared his throat, collecting himself. "Anyway, the actual news is starting tomorrow. I'm officially going to school with you guys." Everyone's eyes widened, a mix of surprise and excitement. "Really?" James blurted, looking thrilled. Izumi smirked, nudging him. "Well, someone sounds excited." She cast a playful glance around the room. "Looks like we only have today to enjoy ourselves then." Izuna, now fully awake, grinned broadly. "Then let's get freshened up and go out. We've got a whole day to make the most of." Everyone shouted in agreement, the house filling with a surge of energy as they headed back to their rooms to get ready. Izuna and Izumi had already been staying with Izuku for his first week in America, helping him settle in. Over the past week, they'd all become inseparable, and when Izuku invited the rest of the group to crash at his place, they'd happily agreed. Their parents were often away on business, so they all quickly felt at home in Izuku's place, creating their own little family in the process. As everyone hurried to get dressed, the excitement was palpable. They were ready to spend the day together, making memories before school began the next day. Third person's POV. After about an hour, Izuku came downstairs to find James lounging on the sofa, focused on a game on his phone. He paused, finding himself strangely captivated as he watched James. His heart began to beat a little faster, and he couldn't quite understand why. Maybe it was because James looked especially handsome in his outfit today. Izuku shook off the feeling and walked over to the sofa. "Hey James, you're ready already?" Izuku asked, sitting beside him. James glanced up, a bit startled. "Yes. I don't really pay much attention to my clothes, so I just threw on whatever was in front of me," he mumbled, his face slightly flushed. Izuku smiled. "Oh, is that so? Well, even then you look really handsome. I wonder how much better you'd look if you started paying attention." James's blush deepened and he stammered, "Ari. Thank you." After a moment, Izuku looked at him curiously. "Hey, I've been wondering, why don't you talk to me much? Whenever we do, it's usually me who starts the conversation. Do you hate me?" James's eyes widened and he shook his head. "Oh, never. Why would I hate you? I could never hate you. It's just, I'm really introverted, so it's hard for me to start conversations." His face fell a bit, looking self-conscious. Izuku's face softened. "Oh, I see. Here I was thinking you hated me. I'm glad to know you don't." He paused, then asked, "So, does that mean you like me?" He tilted his head, genuinely curious, and completely unaware of the effect his words were having. James's face turned beet red as he stammered, Izuku glanced down, playing with his fingers. "Oh, I must have been wrong then. Maybe you do hate me," James shot up. "I like you." From behind them, Jake suddenly laughed. "Oh, so you decided to confess, huh? Bro?" he teased, grinning wide. "Shut up, Jake." James snapped, his face a deep shade of red. Jake smirked. "What? Did I say something wrong?" Izuku chuckled softly. "Hey guys, come on, don't fight." James looked down, calming himself. "If you say so," Jake laughed, giving Izuku a nod. "Wow, Izuku, you're the only one who can calm him down." Just then, Belly walked in, hands on her hips. "Why are you all shouting like a bunch of maniacs?" Katrina appeared beside her, looking mildly annoyed. "Belly, how many times have I told you not to use that word?" She gave her a stern look. Belly immediately softened. "Sorry, baby." Katrina's expression turned gentle as she patted Belly's head. "That's my girl." Izumi came down the stairs, looking amused. "What's going on here?" We could hear James shouting all the way upstairs. Jake smirked, nodding toward James. "Oh, just James here confessing to Izuku." James practically shouted, "It's nothing like that." His face was a shade of red that made everyone laugh. Izuna grinned. "So, you finally did it?" Izuku looked around, clearly puzzled. Guys, what are you all talking about?" James quickly intervened, flustered. "Nothing you need to worry about. And Jake, stop it or else I'll kill you." Jake raised his hands in mock surrender. "Hey, I'm your brother." William chuckled, shaking his head. "Better stop teasing him, Jake." James looks ready to explode from all that blushing. He's already like a tomato. Kelly suddenly popped up out of nowhere. "So, when are we going shopping?" Everyone jumped in surprise, turning to face her. "Kelly, when did you get here?" They all cried, slightly startled. Izuku shook his head, laughing. "She's right though. We should get going. It's already 3 p.m. Izuna nodded, checking her watch. "Yeah, let's head out." They all went to the garage, dividing up into cars. Izumi and Jake took her car, while Izuna, Kelly, and William took Izuna's. Belly and Katrina hopped into one of Izuku's other cars. James hesitated for a moment. Izuna, How about you take a car with Izuku? I'll go with William. Izuna crossed her arms, raising an eyebrow. Not happening. James frowned, confused. Why not? Izuna shrugged nonchalantly. Because I don't want you touching my car. So, go with Izuku. James's shoulders slumped. Please. Izuna fixed him with a steely glare. Go with Izuku. Izuku's heart sank a little at the exchange. So he really doesn't want to ride with me. Does he hate me that much? Why does it hurt so much to think that? He wondered, looking down to hide his disappointment. Fine, James muttered, shooting Izuna a glare before turning back to Izuku. Izuku forced a small smile. I'll drive if that's okay with you, James. James hesitated. But you don't know the streets here yet. It'd be easier if I drove. Izuku's expression tightened just a bit. It's fine. I'll follow Izumi's car. Besides, I prefer to drive my own car. His tone was a touch harsher than usual. James's face fell slightly, hurt flickering in his eyes. Oh, okay then. They got into the car, settling into an awkward silence as Izuku started the engine. Izumi's car, Izuna's car, Izuna's car, Izuku's second car, which Belly is using, Izuku's second car, which Belly is using. Izuku's second car, which Belly is using, Izuku's car, James POV, James thinking. It's so quite. Izuku is not talking to me. Is he angry that I didn't want to share a car with him? What should I do? Should I try to start a conversation with him? Yeah, I should do it, James. So Izuku, did you like America now? Izuku, James, more than Japan. Izuku, James, did you like the American UA that day? Izuku, yes, James. How was it comparing to Japan? Izuku, good. James, hey Izuku. Izuku, what? James, sorry about that day. Izuku, it's okay. James, hey, are you angry? Izuku, no. James, I'm really sorry, I really didn't mean those things I said that day at school. Third person's POV flashback week after Izuku came to America. Izuna, Izuku wanna come with yous to school. Izuku, but I didn't take admission yet. Izuna, come on, you don't go outside of house that much. You only go around that neighborhood park. Izumi, yeah, Iza, let's go together, you will get to meet with those F-airs. Izuku, really excited. Izuna, what now you're excited? Izuku, well yeah. I only met with Belly, Kelly and Izumi's BF Jake. I want to meet with others. Izuna, okay then, decided, let's go. Izuku, but what about your classes? Izumi, don't worry, we don't attempt that much anyway. Izuku, okay then, let's go. School. Izumi called the whole group to an empty classroom which they made their base cause nobody come to this room so they can easily bunk classes if they want. Izumi, hey guys, I have a surprise for you all. Belly, what excited. Izumi, come here. Izuku, hello guys, I'm Izuku. Belly, you're finally bring him to school. So which class are you in? What are you subjects? Izuku, no, I still didn't take admission. I just came today to meet you all. I will attend from next Monday. Belly, oh sad, just join our group already, man. Kelly, hey, how are you doing? I didn't get to see you all week. Jake, well, OFC exams were going on, how do you accept to see him? Kelly, whatever, who cares about exam? I don't even study for finals, so why care about this stupid one? Izumi, how would you see him, he didn't even come outside of his room. Izuku, hey, that's not true. Izuna, yeah, he only goes to the neighborhood park sometimes. William, what, you didn't go out of your house for a week? Izuku, Izumi, okay, introduction time. Zuki, you already know Belly, Kelly and Jake. Okay, this loud mouth just now was William, that's Katrina Belly's GF and that James Jake's brother. And guys, this is my adorable brother and bestie Izuku. Katrina, hi, finally able to meet you in person. Though in chat you were an amazing person, hope you're more amazing in real life. William, you, if you feel down just call me, I'll help you, but don't fall in love with me after that flirting. Izumi, I think you forgot that beating from last time. James, hi. Izuku, hello, nice to meet you too, and I also hope to get alone with you all more. Izuku thinking, so that's James. He doesn't talk much, I guess, because he used to text less in our group chat too. But he's handsome. Belly, hey James, that's rude. James, what's rude? Belly, You should greet him properly, it's your first time meeting. 𝗵𝗄𝗃. First Izumi called us here saying that she had an important announcement, but this was her important announcement and you want me to greet that guy politely. Annoyed belly. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, that's too much. Izuna, say sorry to you now. 𝗵𝗄𝗃. Izuku thinking, he hates me I guess. That's why he didn't talk with me once, but I'm already used to with this kind of treatment, but it somehow reminded me of Bakugo and it pisses me of Izuku. Guys, it's okay, calm down Izuna. Belly. Izuna, but I see you. Izuku. Izuna, calm down I said coldly. Izuna. Oh. Okay, feeling sure. 𝗵𝗄𝗃 thinking, what? This guy can calm down Izuna? And that cold voice just now, I guess nobody noticed it except Izuna and Izumi, and I guess I notice it too. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, I'm going. I can't miss this important class. Degree time skip degree. After they gave Izuku a tour of their school, Izuku told them to go to class and he told Izumi and Izuna that he will be waiting for them after class is finished, so they can go home together. Now Izuku was sitting under a tree and thinking about how his UA friends treated him. His eyes get watery. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, hey, why are you crying? Izuku, oh, it's nothing. Sadly 𝗵𝗄𝗃, it's not like I'm interested. Izuku, again he started thinking and water started coming in his eyes. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, is it because what I said in the morning? You're such a crybaby. Izuku, why do you care why I'm crying or not? 𝗕𝗁𝙢𝙢𝙢𝙀, and will you please shut up? 𝗵𝗄𝗃, whatever. I didn't like you anyway. 𝗵𝗄𝗃 thinking, what the why is he so angry and sad at the same time? When I first saw him today I thought I saw an angel, he really is pretty. I just wanted to say sorry to him, that's why when I saw him here I came, but I saw him crying. Why is he crying? Is it because of me? I should say sorry, but I just said him that I hate him. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, why do you have to talk like that? Izumi, what are you doing here? Aizu. Izuku, nothing, just this looks so pretty so I came here while waiting for you. Izuna, oh, you were really waiting for me, I think I fall in love with you. Izuku, Izuna, don't talk about that again, I told you before didn't I? Coldly Izuna. Oh, I'm sorry. Izuku sadly and scared others. Okay, now let's go. Belly, hey Izuku, wanna go to a restaurant? Izuku, yeah sure, let's go. 𝗵𝗄𝗃 thinking, what was that? That cold gaze, did nobody notice it again, and why did he suddenly get angry when Izuna talk about love? Whatever, I should say sorry to him first. After 2 hours, everyone was going home, then suddenly 𝗵𝗄𝗃 called Izuku. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, Izuku, can I talk to you for a moment? Izuku, yeah, what is it? 𝗵𝗄𝗃. With a bright smile. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, I'm sorry Izuku for what I said to you earlier. Izuku, oh, it's okay 𝗵𝗄𝗃, you don't have to say sorry, and I'm also sorry for raising my voice that time. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, no, it was my fault. Izuku, come on 𝗵𝗄𝗃, we are friends and in friendship there should be no sorry, no thank you. Right, again with his angelic smile. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, if you say so. Izuku slightly blushing. Then Izuna came out of the restaurant and with Izuku they also went home. 𝗧𝗪𝗃, so bro, you fall for Izuku? 𝗵𝗄𝗃, yeah, I guess Su said without realizing Hu came back to sense. 𝗧𝗪𝗃, finally you find someone. Bruce smirking face. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, it's not Lee like that. 𝗵𝗄𝗃 thinking, who will not fall in love with such an angel? But my first impression was of a bastard. Now what should I do to make up to him? 𝗧𝗪𝗃, don't worry, I'll help you. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, WH. What, how did you know what was I think? 𝗧𝗪𝗃, it's written all over you face. Now let's go. How much longer are you gonna stare? Izuku already went home bro. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, blushing crazy, let's go. Flashback ended. Izuku, 𝗵𝗄𝗃, what did I told you that day? 𝗵𝗄𝗃, that we are friends and in friendship no sorry, no thank you. Izuku, then why are you saying sorry to me again? I know you hate me and also that you don't even think of me as a friend. Sarcastically. 𝗵𝗄𝗃, no Izuku, I don't hate you. I didn't want to share a car with you because whenever I'm around you I just can't think properly on and get flustered like Nano. 𝗵𝗄𝗃 thinking, good 𝗵𝗄𝗃, you said it. Izuku, what, that's the reason? Oh. Blush hard. Third person's POV. Izuna leaned back in her chair, a mischievous smile spreading across her face. Okay, Izuku, it's makeover time. Izuku blinked in confusion. What? No way. Izumi chimed in, crossing her arms. Yup, you definitely need to change this cinnamon roll style of yours. It's time for a transformation. Izuku scratched the back of his head, considering their words. I guess it's not a bad idea. A new start deserves some badass changes, right? Izuna clapped her hands together, excitement sparkling in her eyes. Exactly. Belly and William, you're coming with us. The rest of you can just, well, screw off. James hesitated, a nervous expression crossing his face. I want to come too. Izumi raised an eyebrow, surprised. What? Now you want to hang out with Aizu? Hey, don't say it like that, Izumi, Izuku defended, a hint of warmth in his voice. We sorted things out in the car, so it's all good now. If Aizu says it's okay, then I guess it's fine, Izumi relented, shrugging her shoulders. As the group prepared to leave, James couldn't help but feel a surge of warmth at Izuku's words. Wow, Iz took my side. Wait, did I just call him Iz? Oh my god, what the hell? I'm totally in love with this angel. His cheeks flushed crimson as he mentally panicked. Hey James, are you okay? Do you have a fever? Izuku asked, a concerned look crossing his face. No, I'm fine. Let's go. James stammered, his voice high-pitched as he tried to hide his flustered state. With that, Izuku, Izuna, Belly, William, and James set off for Izuku's makeover, while Kelly and Katrina headed to the mall to shop for dresses. Izumi and Jake made their way to the gaming center, eager for some friendly competition. Their first stop was a salon buzzing with energy. Izuku settled into the chair, a mix of excitement and nerves bubbling inside him as he prepared for the change. The stylist expertly worked on his hair, giving him a fresh undercut that emphasized his features. Izuna and Belly cheered him on, while William captured the moment on his phone, snapping pictures to commemorate the transformation. Next came the piercings. Izuku winced slightly as the stylist pierced his ears, but the thrill of the transformation overshadowed any discomfort. After that, they moved on to the tattoo parlor, where Izuku chose a design, a powerful image on his back and another bold piece on his thigh. This entire makeover experience took nearly 3 hours, thanks to the peculiar time quirks of the shops, which made the time feel like it was stretching in their favor. As they finally stepped out into the daylight, Izuku felt exhilarated by his new look. He glanced at his friends, who beamed with pride, and couldn't help but smile. Today marked a new chapter in his life, one filled with possibilities and fresh beginnings. Izuku's hair downwards button, not green hair but black and white mix. Izuku's back tattoo downwards button. Izuku's thigh tattoo downwards button 1. Izuku's thigh tattoo downwards button. Izuku's ear piercing downwards button. Izuku's ear piercing downwards button. Izumi bounced on her heels, her excitement palpable. Izumi bounced on her heels, her excitement palpable. Hey Aizu, you need to post your new look right now. Izuku smiled, the thrill of his transformation still fresh in his mind. Yeah, that's a great idea. Jake, ever the enthusiastic photographer, stepped forward with his camera in hand. So what are you waiting for? Let me snap some cool pics of those tattoos. Sure, let's do it, Izuku replied, feeling a rush of anticipation as he struck a few poses, showing off his new ink and style. As Jake clicked away, capturing the moment from different angles, Izuku couldn't help but feel a swell of confidence. With each flash of the camera, he embraced the changes he had made, feeling more like himself than ever before. After the photo shoot, Izuku eagerly pulled out his phone and opened his social media account. His fingers danced over the screen as he selected the best shots, each image showcasing not just his new look but also the sense of empowerment that came with it. With a final tap, he posted the photos, his heart racing with a mix of excitement and anxiety. Done, he announced, glancing at his friends, who were all watching eagerly. I can't wait to see everyone's reactions. Izumi leaned closer, her eyes sparkling with pride. This is going to blow up. You look incredible, Aizu. Liked by 𝗵𝗵𝗃 worst. Beach and 780 others at Bichitsuku from cinnamon to a bad beach. View all 89 comments at worst. Beach hot as hell Zuku at Bichitsuku. Now it's finally feel like I'm back F airs at always. Horny turn me gay 𝗧𝗵𝗲 at 𝗵𝗃𝗲 you're gay at 𝗵𝗵𝗃 stay away from his William F at Bichitsukum. Who's this guy? At 𝗵𝗃𝗲 your future husband James Zuku. Liked by 𝗵𝗃𝗲, 𝗕𝗫𝗄 and 1500 others. Liked by 𝗵𝗃𝗲, 𝗕𝗫𝗄 and 1500 others. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗁𝗂 feeling free finally view 110 comments at 𝗎𝗭𝗠𝗍 𝗧𝗏 are you okay now? 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗁𝗂 is better than ever. Worst. Beach screw that beach and let's make fun memories here. At always. Corny yeah and if you feel corny come to me baby face blowing a kiss at worst. Beach hey 𝗧𝗏 let's beat this effer again. Looks like he forgot the previous one. James POV what was that? What were they talking about in the comments? Why did 𝗧𝗏 ask Izuku if he was okay? Of course, he was okay his smile alone would convince anyone of that. But something seemed off. Did something happen to Iz? Was that why he suddenly came to America? Should I ask him? But what would he think if I brought it up after what had happened this morning? Lost in thought about Iz, I suddenly spotted 𝗧𝗏 making her way toward me. Hey James, she said, her tone brisk. Stay with Zuku. I want to buy some cosmetics, so I'm heading out. James nodded, a bit surprised. What about Belly? Where is she? Oh, she's with Katrina. I'm going with 𝗧𝗍𝗵, so just hang out with Izuku in the cafe, Jake added, glancing over his shoulder as he followed 𝗧𝗏. Okay, I replied, forcing myself to sound upbeat. As I walked toward the cafe, I caught sight of Izuku gazing out the window, his expression distant and his eyes clouded with sadness. Iz looked sad. But what actually happened to him? My thoughts raced back to the first day I met him at school when I had noticed a similar sadness lurking behind his smile. He always laughed and acted cheerful in front of everyone, but I could sense he was in pain. Hey Iz, are you okay? I asked, stepping closer to him. He turned to me, momentarily startled. Yeah, perfectly fine. And Iz? That's new. But don't you like it? I asked, curious. Well, in Japan, they used to call me Deku, so these nicknames are kind of new to me. Well, except for 𝗧𝗏's and 𝗧𝗍𝗵's, I guess, he replied, a hint of discomfort in his voice. What the hell was wrong with them? What kind of nickname is that? How dare they call you that? I exclaimed, instinctively reaching out to cup his cheeks with both hands, my anger flaring up for him. Izuku's eyes widened in surprise, and a flush crept across his cheeks. Why is he reacting like this? Why is my heart racing, and why is my face burning? Hey, do you have a fever? I asked, tilting my head, genuinely concerned. No, I'm fine. He stammered, shaking his head. Then why is your face burning? Your cheeks are so red. I pressed, my gaze locked onto his. It's nothing, he replied, his voice barely above a whisper as he covered his face with his hands. Just then 𝗧𝗍𝗵 appeared, her arms crossed as she narrowed her eyes at me. Hey, James, what are you doing with my Izu? I quickly explained, hey, 𝗧𝗍𝗵. Did you know they called If Deku in Japan? My tone was laced with indignation. What? Are you serious? Jake chimed in, eyebrows raised in disbelief. Izuku nodded, his expression a mix of resignation and embarrassment. Belly, who had just arrived, gasped. What? How dare they? I'll kill them. Hey no. You don't have to do anything like that. I don't mind what they call me, Izuku quickly reassured her. Jake raised an eyebrow. But why did they call you Deku? Izuku paused for a moment, looking away. Well, he hesitated for 6 or 7 seconds, gathering his thoughts. Actually, I was quirkless until I was 15. When I was 4, the doctor said my quirk would show up at that age, so I didn't tell anyone about it. He took a deep breath. A heavy silence fell over us, the weight of his words settling in. The atmosphere shifted, and everyone except 𝗧𝗏 and 𝗧𝗍𝗵 felt the tension. But that still doesn't mean they should call you Deku, I insisted, my protective instincts flaring up. Hey, 𝗧𝗍𝗵, why aren't you saying anything now? 𝗧𝗍𝗵 shrugged, looking conflicted. When we first heard this, we were angry too, but Zuka said he doesn't care what they call him. And you just stayed silent after that. I glared at her, frustration creeping in. 𝗧𝗍𝗵 shot back. If I ever get the chance, I'll kill that Bakugo. How dare he dash? She stopped mid-sentence when she noticed Izuku glaring at her. Never mind, she said sheepishly. What's this about Bakugo? I pressed, feeling my protective instincts surge again. It's nothing. Just leave it. I really don't care what they call me, Izuku insisted, his voice firm. But I do like the name Iz though. I felt my cheeks heat up at his words. Oh, I stammered, trying to suppress my blush. Okay, now let's go home, Izuku declared, his voice brightening as he stood up, shaking off the heavy atmosphere. As we made our way out of the cafe, I couldn't shake the feeling that beneath his smile, Izuku carried more weight than any of us realized. I wanted to understand him better, to help him, but I still didn't know how. Third person's POV. After returning home, everyone felt the weight of exhaustion settle in. They quickly freshened up, the day's events leaving them drained. One by one, they trudged off to their rooms, ready to collapse into bed. Settled into bed together, Jake found it hard to drift off. He lay there, staring at Izuku's peaceful face, illuminated softly by the moonlight filtering through the curtains. How appealing he looks, Jake thought, his heart fluttering at the sight. Izuku's features were softened in sleep, his brows relaxed and his lips slightly parted. In that moment, Jake admired everything about him: the gentle rise and fall of his chest, the way his messy hair fell across his forehead, and the tranquil expression that seemed so different from the worries that often clouded his eyes during the day. Despite the initial restlessness, Jake eventually made himself comfortable, shifting closer to Izuku. He found a position that felt right, allowing himself to feel the warmth radiating from Izuku's body. With a contented sigh, he closed his eyes, finally surrendering to the fatigue that enveloped him. As sleep overtook them, the room was filled with the soft sounds of their breathing, the tranquility a stark contrast to the whirlwind of emotions and experiences they had faced that day. Together, they drifted off into a deep slumber, the exhaustion of the day finally giving way to the peace of the night. Next morning, James lay in bed, his eyes half open as he felt a strange heaviness pressing against him. His heart raced when he realized that Izuku was sleeping on his chest, a faint blush creeping up his cheeks. He stared down at the sleeping figure, mesmerized by how peaceful and appealing Izuku looked in that moment. Izuku stirred, rubbing his eyes as he gradually woke up. James panicked, stammering, "Why you woke up? Get ready, today is your first day at school." Without thinking, he gently pushed Izuku away and bolted toward the washroom, his heart pounding in his chest. Izuku, still half asleep, blinked in confusion. What just happened? Why did he push me? It suddenly registered where he had been sleeping, and a wave of embarrassment washed over him. He covered his face with his hands and let out a high-pitched scream, "Ah!" After a chaotic but lively morning, everyone was finally ready to head to school. They piled into the car, which was the same one they had used during their shopping trip. As they drove, Izuku felt a wave of nerves wash over him. James noticed the way Izuku's hands fidgeted in his lap and the tension in his shoulders. It's okay," James reassured him, his voice steady and comforting. "We're all with you." Izuku let out a small sigh. "Oh, do you think I'll be able to adjust to the others?" James shrugged, a confident grin spreading across his face. "Well, I don't know or care about what others think, but anyone who doesn't want to be your friend is an idiot." Izuku chuckled softly, though a shadow of sadness crossed his face. Well, you know how they used to call me Deku, so." James's heart ached at the sight of Izuku's expression. He could sense that something painful had happened to Izuku at his previous school, and he felt an overwhelming longing to understand and comfort him. He couldn't bear to see his beloved friend sad. "Look," James said, his tone serious but gentle, "I don't know what happened at your old school, but I can tell something did. Yesterday, you said you wanted a new start. It may be hard for you, but don't burden yourself. You don't have to go through this alone. If you ever need someone to listen to your worries, I'm all yours. So cheer up and embrace your new journey." He glanced out the window, trying to keep his own emotions in check. Izuku turned to look at James, his eyes wide with surprise. His heart raced as he absorbed James's words, a sense of warmth blooming within him. Although he didn't say anything, he felt a surge of hope and fresh determination from the encouragement he had received. Thank you," Izuku stammered, his cheeks flushed. "Will you really listen to me?" James nodded firmly, a reassuring smile on his face. "Absolutely. I'm all yours. I already told you. Izuku felt his heart swell with gratitude. Thank you, he replied, his voice barely above a whisper, but the sincerity of his words was unmistakable, and the blush on his cheeks deepened. Izuku was happy to hear this, and now he opens up to James a little. They get closed. Izuku told him everything that happened in Japan. They chatted their whole way to school. Their school was 30 minutes away from Izuku's house. Third person's POV as they arrived at the school, every student turned to look at them, curiosity flickering in their eyes. Whispers rippled through the crowd as they tried to figure out who the striking newcomer was. Izuku, walking beside James, drew immediate attention. Some of the students couldn't help but stare, mesmerized by his appearance, their gazes lingering on his face with a mix of admiration and longing. Others, however, wore expressions of disdain, their eyes narrowing in judgment at his unusual choice of clothing. Others, however, wore expressions of disdain, their eyes narrowing in judgment at his unusual choice of clothing. Ignore the hair. Izuku, seemingly unaware of the effect he was having, walked with a quiet confidence. His calm demeanor only added to the air of mystery that surrounded him. A few students openly gawked, unable to look away, while others exchanged disapproving glances. James, quick to notice the attention Izuku is getting, shot a hard glare at those staring too long. His sharp look was enough to send most of them scattering, hurrying off to their classes, not daring to gawking Izuku any further. Izuku, glancing back at James, called out, "James, what are you doing back there? I need to go to the principal's office. Let's go." James, still frowning at the remaining onlookers, muttered, "Yeah, I'm coming." His gaze swept the crowd one last time before he reluctantly followed, keeping close to Izuku's side, his protective nature clear in every step. As Izuku stepped into the principal's office, the room was filled with the soft hum of conversation among a few teachers. The principal, a middle-aged man with kind eyes and a calm demeanor, looked up from his desk and offered a welcoming smile. "So, you're the new student Izuku Midoriya, right?" His voice was warm, yet carried an air of authority. Izuku nodded respectfully. "Yes, sir." The principal leaned back slightly in his chair, studying Izuku for a moment before speaking again. "Tell me a bit about yourself, your quirk, and anything else you think we should know." Izuku took a breath, his expression calm but focused, and he started telling them about his quirk and something about his life like his way in Japan. The principal nodded thoughtfully, exchanging a glance with the teachers beside him. "It sounds like you have a unique and powerful ability, Izuku. I'm sure you'll make great progress here." He stood up from his desk, extending a hand. "Welcome to the school." Izuku's POV. I stood outside classroom A1, waiting as the teacher had instructed. My heart pounded a little, but I took a deep breath, trying to calm my nerves. From inside, I heard the teacher's voice call out, "You can come in now." "Okay," I replied, pushing the door open. As I walked in, I could feel the weight of every gaze in the room. Curious eyes followed me, assessing me with a mix of interest and surprise. My attention shifted to the back of the class, where I spotted my entire group sitting together. They hadn't mentioned they'd be in this class, but seeing familiar faces brought me some comfort. The teacher gestured for me to stand in front of the class. "Now, introduce yourself." I cleared my throat, trying to stay composed. "My name is Izuku Midoriya. I'm from Japan. I attended High for 3 months before transferring here." I paused, then continued, "My quirks are," I explained briefly, not wanting to go into the full explanation right now. Before I could finish, one of the girls in the front row gasped, "Wow, your quirks are so cool. And you went to in Japan. That's amazing." A boy next to her nodded eagerly. "Yeah, is the only school that can compete with ours. You must be really strong." My cheeks flushed slightly, feeling the sudden attention. No, I'm not really that strong," I muttered, embarrassed, rubbing the back of my neck. Another girl leaned forward, her curiosity piqued. "So, why were you with them this morning?" I blinked, a little surprised by the question. "Oh, because I'm their leader." The entire class let out a collective, "Oh," as if that piece of information suddenly made sense to them. Then another boy, sitting near the window, raised his hand slightly before blurting out, "Hey, by the way, why are you wearing those clothes?" Without missing a beat, I responded confidently, "Because I'm pansexual. Is there a problem with that?" The boy stammered, his face turning a deep shade of red. "And no, that's not it. I mean you look like an angel," he finished, blushing furiously. Before I could react, James, who had been quietly watching, stood up and glared at the boy. "Hey, watch it. That's my boy, stay away from him." I turned sharply to James, my eyes wide in shock. "Huh?" James' face reddened even more as he realized what he had said. He quickly backtracked, stammering, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I mean nothing." "Mph." The rest of the class fell silent for a second, then erupted into laughter, while my group at the back smirked and teased James mercilessly. The moment was awkward, but the lightheartedness in the air helped ease the tension. The teacher, shaking his head with a small smile, clapped his hands to restore order. "All right, that's enough. Settle down, everyone. Izuku, you can take the empty seat over there." I nodded, making my way to the seat, my face still warm from the earlier exchange. As I sat down, I couldn't help but notice the playful glances my group was giving me. It was going to be an interesting day, that much was certain. Lunchtime, I was sitting with my group, casually enjoying lunch when 3 boys approached us with smug expressions. The air around them felt heavy with tension as they made their way over. "Hey, new kid," one of them sneered, his voice dripping with arrogance. I didn't bother looking up at first, but when I did, my eyes narrowed. "I have a name," I shot back, my voice sharp. "What do you want?" The leader of the group stepped forward, crossing his arms. "You said you're their leader, right? Then fight me. Prove it." The second boy chimed in, smirking. "Yeah, we don't believe a word you're saying, Pan." My BLD boiled at the sound of that word. Pan. The way he spat it out made my fists clench beneath the table. My pulse quickened, and anger surged through me. I stood up slowly, my gaze locked onto them. "You want to fight?" "Fine," I said, voice low and dangerous. "I'll beat the CRP out of all of you. Let's go." My mind raced as I glared at them. How dare they talk to me like that? I felt an unfamiliar anger stirring deep within me, sharper than what I was used to. In Japan, I would have just kept quiet, swallowed my pride, and let their words pass. But this was different. Here, I wasn't about to let them insult me. The third boy snickered, leaning in mockingly. "What's the matter?" "Thinking of how to beg for mercy." He burst into laughter, the sound grating on my nerves. I snapped, my fists tightening as I took a step closer. "Shut up, 𝗧𝗵𝗃," I growled. The tension in the air was palpable, and for a split second, it felt like the entire cafeteria had gone quiet, waiting for what would happen next. I could feel the eyes of my group behind me, watching. They knew me well enough to understand that I was about to lose it, and for once, I wasn't holding back. After the challenge in the cafeteria, word spread quickly across the entire school. By the time we reached the grounds for the fight, almost the whole student body had gathered to watch. Some came out of sheer curiosity, eager to learn more about me and my quirk. Others were expecting to see me get beaten up, thinking I was being arrogant by calling myself the leader of my group. And then, there were those who showed up to cheer me on, knowing the ones challenging me were notorious school bullies. As the fight unfolded, it became clear to everyone why I was the leader of my group. My strength, my control, and my quirk all spoke for themselves. By the end of it, the crowd's perception had shifted. Where doubt once stood, there was now admiration. They began to understand that I wasn't just some boastful new kid. Some students even looked at me the way I had once looked up to All Might, eyes filled with awe and respect. I wiped the sweat from my forehead, looking down at the defeated boys. "Now do you get it? This is why I'm their leader," I said, glaring down at them, my voice sharp and unyielding. The first boy, his face pale and his confidence shattered, stammered, "Why?" The second one, his legs trembling, could barely speak. "Why?" he muttered, terrified. Before I could press further, Izumi called out, her tone light but firm. "Come on, Izu, that's enough." Izuna, unable to control her laughter, rolled on the ground, clutching her stomach. Zuku, stop glaring at them. They're gonna wet their pants. She cackled. James stepped forward, grabbing me by the arm with a grin. Alright, that's enough. Let's get back to class, he said, pulling me away before things escalated any further. William, ever the charmer, added in a playful tone, Now, let's all go to our respective classes, right? His flirty voice caused half the school to blush instantly, especially the girls. Katrina scowled at him, unimpressed. Stop it, William, she muttered with a roll of her eyes. Belly, already on the move, grabbed Katrina's hand. Okay, let's go. We're already late, she yelled, dragging Katrina along as she sprinted toward the building. And just like that, my first day at my new school ended with me being known by everyone. Respect, admiration, and even a little idolization followed me wherever I went from that moment onward. It seemed my reputation had already been solidified. Izuku's POV. As I walked into the classroom, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement. Everyone was talking about how I had beaten those bullies, how strong my quirk was, and why I truly deserved to be the leader of my group. For the first time, I found myself soaking up the attention, basking in the praise. It felt good. No, it felt amazing. A wave of shock hit me as I realized something. If I were still in Japan, I'd have hated this kind of attention. I would have been embarrassed, shrinking back into the shadows, but now I was loving it. Why was I so naive before? I couldn't help but reflect on how much I'd changed in just 2 short weeks. America had done something to me, helped me bring out a side of myself I never knew existed. I wasn't the timid, overly polite person I used to be, the cinnamon roll everyone saw me as. I had been acting that way for so long, convincing myself I was being kind, polite, and selfless, when in reality, I had been a pushover. How had I never noticed? My thoughts were interrupted by James' voice. What are you thinking about? He asked, snapping me out of my internal monologue. I glanced at him and smirked. Just that coming to America was the best decision of my life. James looked at me curiously. But because of what happened today. You should just forget about that. Let's make some new, amazing memories to replace those shitty ones. I chuckled softly, grateful for his concern. Thanks for hearing me out this morning. But no, I'm thinking about something else now. He raised an eyebrow. Oh, what is it? I took a deep breath, my eyes meeting his. How America and all of you helped me realize my true self. You've all played a part in changing me, helping me become who I really am. James gave me a wide grin, clearly pleased. We're friends. I'd do anything for you, he said before suddenly realizing what he'd just admitted. His face flushed a deep red as he stammered, I mean all of us. His embarrassment was contagious, and I felt my own cheeks heat up as I stammered back, Oh, okay. My thoughts spiraled in confusion, a strange feeling blooming in my chest. What is this? Butterflies. My heart fluttered as I looked at James, and a flood of emotions rushed through me. This feels familiar. Nostalgic, almost. I'd never felt this way around Uraraka. But James, he was different. Do I like him? Suddenly, the realization hit me like a freight train. Oh my God. How could I have missed this for so long? I had never been in love with Uraraka. She was just an attraction, a fleeting crush. But James, I had liked him this whole time. You idiot, Deku, I scolded myself internally. You've been blind to your own feelings. Panic and excitement rushed through me in equal measure. What do I do now? My mind raced, and I decided I'll ask Izumi and Izuna for advice. They'll know what to do. I stole another glance at James, my heart pounding in my chest. Everything had changed in an instant, and now I had to figure out what to do next. At home, that evening, Izuku fidgeted nervously, pacing back and forth before finally working up the courage to approach his sisters. Izuna, I need to talk to you about something. Izuna glanced up from her phone, eyebrow raised. What is it, Zuku? Izuku hesitated, feeling his cheeks heat up. I think I like James. For a moment, there was dead silence. Izuna and Izumi simply stared at him with blank expressions. Izuku shifted uncomfortably, looking between the two. Why aren't you saying anything? Izuna finally broke the silence, her face completely neutral. We've known for ages, she said flatly. Izuku blinked in shock. Huh? Izumi nodded, completely unfazed. Yeah, we figured it out ages ago. It's been obvious for a while. Izuku's eyes widened in disbelief. How? I just figured it out today. What the hell do you mean you knew long ago? Izumi chuckled. You used to constantly ask us about him on calls and in messages. Not to mention how you'd always look at him when we played together. It was pretty obvious. Izuku's mind was racing. Wait, does that mean everyone knew? Does James know? Izuna shrugged casually. Not sure about him, but yeah, we all knew. And we also knew that Uraraka was just a distraction, nothing serious. Izuku sat there, dumbfounded, as his sisters watched him with knowing smiles. Oh, he muttered, feeling slightly foolish. Izuna smirked, leaning forward. What? Oh. So, when are you going to propose? Izuku's face turned bright red at the suggestion. Propose, he stammered, his voice rising several octaves. Izumi grinned. Yeah, why not? You already know you like him. Izuku's heart was racing. But what if he doesn't feel the same? I don't want to go through the whole proposing to someone and getting rejected thing again. Izuna rolled her eyes. He likes you, idiot. And if you don't want to propose first, just make him propose to you. Izuku stared at her in shock. Wait, what? You're sure he likes me? Izumi crossed her arms confidently. We're all sure. It's written all over both your dumb faces. We just don't know why you two haven't figured it out until now. Izuku felt a wave of relief wash over him but still couldn't shake the nervous excitement bubbling inside him. So what do I do now? Izuna's eyes gleamed mischievously. Easy. Make him jealous. Push him to the point where he can't hold back and he'll be the one to confess. Izuku's eyes lit up. That's actually brilliant. You're the best. He grabbed Izuna and spun her around in excitement. Izuna yelped, Yeah, I'm amazing, now put me down before I throw up. Her head was spinning as she laughed, pushing him away. Izuku set her down, grinning ear to ear. He couldn't believe how much things had changed in such a short time. For the first time in what felt like forever, he felt genuinely happy and ready to take the next step. And that's how Izuku noticed his true feelings, and he just forget about that 𝗵𝗃 and all about Yue and move on. They plan to make James propose. Izuku and William gonna help in this. Third person's POV. It was a peaceful morning, the soft light of the sun streaming through the window and warming the face of a boy who looked almost angelic as he slept. His soft, messy hair framed his face as he stirred, scrunching his eyes against the morning rays. Izuku mumbled, Ugh, just a little longer. From across the room, his sister, Izuna, stood with her arms crossed, an amused smile on her face. Izuku, you better get up or you're going to be late. Still half asleep, Izuku pulled the covers over his head, mumbling, 5 more minutes. Izuna's patience quickly evaporated. Wake up now, she shouted, her voice shaking the room. Izuku shot out of bed in an instant, his heart pounding. Yes, ma'am, he yelped, already halfway to the bathroom. Izuna burst into laughter, watching her brother's hurried retreat. For the past 2 weeks, Izuku and William had been executing their plan to make James jealous. Izuku spent more time with William, who had taken the opportunity to flirt with him as he usually did with others. Every compliment William tossed Izuku's way was met with a playful, exaggerated blush, making their interactions appear both innocent and flirtatious. The change in their dynamic didn't go unnoticed. James, who had been watching from the sidelines, seemed to be burning with jealousy at the sight of Izuku and William growing closer. Despite the obvious tension, he had yet to confront the situation, leading their friends to decide that today was the day William would propose to Izuku right in front of James. Lunchtime in school. The tension in the air was palpable as Izuku and his friends exchanged furtive glances, silently deciding when to set their plan in motion. Just then, James emerged from his class, which had run 10 minutes late today. Hey guys, James is here. Izuku whispered excitedly. Alright, listen up. Like every day, we'll sit together, and 𝗧𝗠 will explain the rest, William announced, grinning. Why do I have to explain again? I already went over everything this morning. 𝗧𝗠 protested, exasperation clear in her voice. William shrugged with a playful smile. I forgot. Beaming face was smiling as 𝗧𝗠 rolled her eyes dramatically. They fine. Zuku, listen up. William will flirt with you like he does every day. You'll blush, and after about 10 to 15 minutes, he'll get down on one knee. But you won't notice right away. We'll gasp and tell you to look behind, and then you'll turn around to see William with a ring in hand. When that happens, just fake cry a little. Let's see what James does in response. Got it? Izuku's eyes sparkled with mischief. Wow, that's an amazing plan. Let's begin the hunt for James. Face with tears of joy, yeah man. That's a brilliant idea. Belly chimed in. I can't wait to see his reaction. Katrina added, practically bouncing with excitement. He's coming. Kelly hushed them, taking a sip of her drink. Jake smirked, teasing, just don't tease my little bro too much. He pretended to wipe away fake tears. Hey, what are you all talking about? James asked, casting a suspicious side glance at Izuku and William. Nothing much, Belly replied, trying to play it cool. James's thoughts raced. What the hell? I saw them talking about something. Why is William with Izuku again? They've been spending way too much time together. If William tries anything with Izuku, I swear doesn't Izuku see how much I like him? I'm so jealous of William. Izuku looked at James innocently. Why are you pouting? William smirked internally. Wow, Izuku, you really know what you're doing. You know why he's pouting, but you're asking with that innocent face. Today, I'll flirt with you as much as I want. James always gets mad when I flirt with others. Now I want to see his reaction. It'll be refreshing. Hey, William, stop that evil smirk. I know what you're thinking. Don't tease him too much, Jake warned, playfully hitting William's head. Yeah, I won't, William said, feigning innocence. William then turned his full attention to Izuku, flirting with him to his heart's content. Izuku played along, remaining silent yet engaged. 10 to 15 minutes later, everyone suddenly gasped in unison. Wow, William. What's happening, guys? Izuku asked, glancing nervously at James. Look behind you, Zuka baby. Belly pointed, excitement palpable in her voice. Katrina added, wow, I never thought William would do this. James's heart raced. What the hell? William is proposing to my Izuku. No way. I can't allow this. His eyes filled with tears as he watched. Izuku turned around, a look of fake surprise on his face. Why William W. Stop this. Come with me. James shouted, grabbing Izuku's arm and dragging him to their old classroom, the very place where Izuku had first met everyone. James, what are you doing? Izuku protested, bewildered. Please don't accept him. I'm begging you. James nearly fell to his knees, desperation etched on his face. Okay, I won't, but first, stand up, Izuku said, trying to calm him. Promise? James asked, his cute pout returning. You're so cute and handsome at the same time. How do you manage that? Izuku remarked, unable to resist teasing him. What? James stammered, his cheeks turning crimson. I mean, that pout makes you look adorable yet handsome. I wish I had a boyfriend like that, Izuku added with a smirk. James blinked, flustered. Izuku, I like you. No, I love you. Please don't accept William. Okay, Izuku said simply. Then you don't like him, right? James pressed. I like him as a friend, but I don't see him like that. I also love you, Izuku confessed. James's expression shifted from shock to sheer joy. So that means you're my boyfriend now. You're mine and only mine. I was always yours, Izuku replied, a soft smile spreading across his face. What about William? James asked, a hint of worry in his voice. Izuku then explained everything, the plan, how he had realized his feelings for James, and how the entire situation had unfolded. So, you liked me all this time too? James asked, his eyes shining with happiness. But I was a dumbass and couldn't even recognize my own feelings, Izuku admitted, a sheepish grin on his face. Yeah, you are, James teased, pouting again. Izuku leaned in and gently pecked James on his pout. Stop pouting. You're too cute and hot when you do that. What was that? That's not fair. That was my first kiss. It has to be special. James exclaimed, eyes wide. Then, leaning closer, the two boys kissed each other passionately. The kiss was full of love, nothing more, nothing less. Izuku felt a warmth he had never experienced before. He realized the difference between love and lust. What 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏 had for him was merely lust, but from James, he felt nothing but love and purely love. Plus, and that's how Izuku and James became the best couple in school. Word spread quickly, and everyone knew about their relationship. After their heartfelt exchange, James carried Izuku in a bridal style from the classroom to the cafeteria, declaring loudly that Izuku was his. The laughter and excitement that filled the cafeteria signaled a new chapter for Izuku and James, one filled with love, friendship, and the promise of many happy memories to come. Years later, Izuku's POV: as I opened my eyes, I saw James hugging me tightly. I removed his arms slowly not to wake him up. I was getting off the bed, but suddenly I fall down. I can't feel my lower body. James woke up from the thud sound. James, is what happened? Are you okay? Concerned face Izuku, you F monster. James, if I remember correctly, someone told me to go HRD on them with smirk. Izuku, you F or just you wait, trying to stand up but fall down again. James, now let me help you, carrying Izuku in his shoulder upside down. Izuku, 𝗕𝗁. Hey, put me down, struggle in James' arm. James, nope, from downstairs. Izuna, shut up you two. James and Izuku, looking at each other. James, come and I'll help you washing up. After I did my morning routine, I came downstairs with James. I saw Belly was begging Katrina. Izuku, what happened? Katrina, this beach tried to do it in the washroom. Today I'll kill this beach, glaring at Belly. Belly, please, please, sorry baby, I'll never do it, please forgive me baby. Teary eyes Katrina, okay, but no touching for 3 days straight. Face Belly, what, you know I can't leave without touching you baby, please, I'll never do this again, never, please forgive me kitty cat. Katrina, her heart melt after hearing this nickname. Okay, I'll this time my baby Belle. Belly, yay, hugging her GF tightly like they're no tomorrow. Kelly, done with your drama, looking at her phone. Izuku, come on Kelly, don't say like this, they were so cute, unlike someone glaring at James. James, please is baby forgive me too, pouting, which Izuku can't resist. Izuku, don't pout, it will not work today. Katrina, what happened between you two? Izuku, this F monster. 'Cause of him I wasn't able to walk properly in the morning. I fall down when I was getting off from the bed. Belly, oh, someone went hard yesterday. Teasing James. James, it's not my fault. How can I resist when an angel asked me to go HRD on him? Izuku, so what, you monster? Kelly, another drama. Izuku, you will do this drama too when you got a GF. Kelly, don't want, I'm happy with my phone, kissing her phone. Belly, how come my twin is like that woman, facepalming light skin tone. Kelly, you're different, not me. Katrina, okay, don't start fighting here, you two. Izuku, hey Kelly, what happened to that crush of yours? Hen, are you gonna propose? Kelly, now I don't wanna, to lazy, I'm happy alone. James, don't force her. Izuku, okay, I pout. Jake, hey, what are you all doing? My GF is making breakfast with her soft hands, come and eat. Third person's POV after breakfast. Izuku, so what's today's plan? It's Sunday. Jake, oh guys, I forget to tell you all that principal called me yesterday. Izuku, he didn't call me though, if there's any need the principal will always inform. Izuku, first Jake, 'cause yesterday someone was like, yeah, more, yes, they're harder. Izuku, stop blushing ear to ear. Jake, okay, face with tears of joy, so he called you 5 to 6 times but you didn't pick up, so he called me. He said that we are getting some exchange students this month and your parents, pointing towards Izuku, allow them to stay here. Izuku, what? Why Jake? 'Cause they are good friends with the teachers from that school. Izuku, oh, so where are they from? Jake, don't know. Principal didn't tell me that. Izuku, whatever, I'll let them stay in the 3rd floor and they will use the 2nd exit, not the main one. James, so what today's plan is? Baby. Izuku, why don't you decide? Daddy, yup. Izuku called James daddy. James, okay, so why don't we do our usual thing? Izumi, yeah, let's robe AF bank today. Katrina, that's going F too far. Izumi, Belly, let's go to that abandoned park and party. Izuna, Yeah, that's a great idea. Jake, by the way guys, where's William? Izuku, with his new BF he can't come with us. James, how do you know that Buring jealous? Yup, he is still jealous of William. Izuku, stop being jealous, it was 2 years ago and all an act and he messaged in our F group. James, how can I not be jealous when my BF used to be with a F flirty? William, and who are you calling that? Jake, what are you doing here and what about your BF? William, now he was not good in bed so I left him there and came to join the party. Izuku, okay, more people more fun, let's go. After they come home, it's 2:30 am now. Izuna, hey, let's post today's fun in IG. Izuku, yay, let's do it. Bakugo's POV, it's been 2 years, where is that Deku? I've been searching for him everywhere. I know I have done horrible things to him in middle school, but I guess what I've done 2 years ago has crossed the line. I did all of those things because of jealously. The way he used to smile at others, I was jealous. That time I didn't know why, but after he left I was aware of this feelings. I like him but I bullied my loved one. What a PP head I was. Today Aizawa said that we are going to America in 2 days as exchange students. But why suddenly? This whole 2 years they treated us like shits. Well, I guess they knew what we did to Deku, that's why. I'll not complain, I did cross the line that time and Deku must have had enough with my behavior. But this all happened because of that 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗧𝗏. She is a total slut. I feel disgust of myself. Why did I sleep with that slut? She never liked Deku. She was only after him for his money and body, but after she gets satisfied she came to me and cause of that revenge thing I played along with her. Aizawa, Bakugo, what are you thinking? I'm talking about important things. Glaring-eyed. Mr. Aizawa, where are we going to stay in America and for how many days? Aizawa, a good friend of us had allowed Yus to stay in their son's mansion and for 1 year, so behave like human. They're okay. Glaring-eyed. Son's mansion. Aizawa, yeah, they had works outside so they can't allow Yus in their mansion, that's why they said we can stay in their son's mansion. Now go 2 days, you don't have any classes while crawling inside his sleeping bag. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏. Wow, it means they are super rich and their son gonna be alone too. Momo, I'm gonna make him my 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏. Drooling 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏. Nope, he's gonna fall for me. Smirk. Bakugo thinking, this beaches. What did you saw in her Deku that you dated her for whole 2 months? Now I feel bad for that guy. Days later, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏's POV, I'm packing all my CC clothes. I'm gonna make that boy fall head over heel for me. Smirking like that Deku. How he loved me so much. Yeah, now that I think it's been 2 years, where is he? I totally forgot about him. I guess he loved me so much that he is still hiding. Evil smile, I'm gonna do the same with that American boy too. Again, evil smile, after taking all the property, I'll kick him out of that mansion of mine. Momo, are you done packing? 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏. Aizawa-sensei is calling us, it's time. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏, coming. Momo, wow, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏, you're packing all the CC clothes. You sure gonna make him fall for you? Momo thinking, not when I'm also going. Smirking 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏. Just like that stupid Deku. Those who are going to America are Bakugo, Todoroki, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏, Momo, Lita, Kirishima, Kaminari, 𝗔𝗂𝗁𝗍, Mina. Momo, oh, that thing. By the way, where is that Deku? He's been hiding seen 2 years now. I guess he still love you so much that he can't believe you cheated on him. Evil smile, okay, now let's go or else Aizawa-sensei again gonna beat us. Mina's POV, as I was going downstairs I heard someone saying a name I haven't heard seen 2 years. It's Momo and Uraraka and they are talking about Izuku. And as always they are talking shits about him. I just wanted to put a side on their face. I was going to beat them, then suddenly Jdru held my hand. Kirishima and Kaminari nodded their head as to don't do anything now. Jdru, Mina, calm down, we are getting late, let's go. Mina, but those beach, they are again talking shits about Izuku. Kirishima, leave them. We can't do anything. We wasn't able to do anything in this 2 years. Sad face. Kaminari, don't be sad. Believe in Izuku, he said is gonna take his revenge and we know he can whenever he want. By the way, did you all forgot he's in America too? We can meet him. Mina, oh yeah, I was excited at that thought, but cause of this beaches I forgot. Jdru, first let's go downstairs then America and after that we can contact him, right? Kirishima, yeah, you're right, let's go. Mina thinking, we do talk with him but only throw messages. All 4 of us miss him so much. But now we can meet him. Excited they chat with Izuku almost every day. But sometimes Izuku got busy in missions. And also they didn't know Izuku's hero name cause Izuku wanted to surprise them. Winking face, third person's POV. America, they all came out of the airport and it feels like they are waiting for someone. Uraraka, 𝗧𝗏-sensei, who are we waiting for? 𝗧𝗏, for my friends. Now shut up. Before anyone could say or ask anything, a car came and UAs were shocked till their jaw dropped. Uraraka, wow, 𝗧𝗏-sensei, how rich are they? 𝗧𝗏 said nothing, he ignored her. 𝗧𝗏, I thought he would come to pick us up. So, is he busy? Alex, Izuku's butler. No, 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 was thinking of coming, but suddenly his group made some plan and was requesting 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 that he have to join or else they will cry, putting a hand on his head. 𝗧𝗏, oh, you mean the ACs? They are really not like how we saw them on TV, huh? 𝗕𝗏, ACE. You mean your friend's child is a part of ACE? The most strongest high school team in America, who are even stronger than some pro heroes, especially their leader Sparkly Eyes Alex. No, 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 is not the member 𝗕𝗏. Oh, ignorant expression Alex, he is the leader. His hero name is Wings Todoroki. Wow, so we are gonna meet the leader of ACE. Momo thinking, wow, that's nice. Now he's gonna be mine. I'm sure he's gonna drool over my CC figure. I'm 100% more better than that Uraraka. Uraraka thinking, amazing. Now I'm gonna live the life of a princess. At first I thought I'm gonna use him then toss him, but now he's gonna be my lifetime bank. Alex, you all enter this car. Uraraka, what about 𝗧𝗏-sensei? Alex, he and I gonna come on that car, showing another branded car to them. Uraraka, another one. Alex, OFC, there's more. Smirking Momo, is his parents very rich? Alex, yeah they are. After all, they are the first and the second hero of America, and not only them, 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 is also very rich. Smirking Momo, wow. Uraraka, amazing. Izuku's house. Uraraka, wow, so huge. As they were looking at the house, someone opened the huge door in front of them. Momo went inside without her bags, hoping someone would take them inside, but the maids ignore her and went to their own work. Momo, what happened? Why is nobody bringing my bags in? Alex, they only work for 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧, are not just anybody. Momo, what anybody? Who do you think you are talking to? Alex, mind your words, this is not your house or Japan. This is America and you're standing in young master's house. Momo thinking, just you wait. After I became his chief, I'll kick you all out of this mansion. Smirking Momo, okay, sorry. They all were shown their room, which Izuku fixed for them in one corner of the house. Izuku gave all of them 2 rooms, one for girls and one for boys. Uraraka, I want my own room. Alex, 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 has decided this for you all, so follow his order. Glaring Uraraka thinking, just you wait. After I make him mime, I'm gonna kick you out of this house first. Uraraka, okay. Expressionless face. Kirishima, by the way, where is your 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧? Alex, he went out with his friends 𝗕𝗏. How can he just leave when he knew guests were coming? So unheroic. Alex, you all are nothing, just a load. So put a stick in you butt and SDF. 𝗕𝗏, mind your manners or else I'll complain about you to your 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧. Alex, yeah sure, go ahead and do it. 𝗕𝗏, glaring Alex, you all settle down, 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 will come. Oh, and yeah, don't make too much noise. 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 doesn't like much noises. So be careful, if you make noise he will kick you all out of this house. 𝗕𝗏, he doesn't have the right to kick us out, his parents allowed us to stay. 𝗧𝗏, it's his house, did you forget what I told you? Now go to your rooms. Third person's POV, as they all settle, they took some rest. Due to traveling they were very tired, so they fall asleep as fast as they could. Kirishima, it was a really good rest. This bed is so soft. Kaminari, you're up already. Kirishima, oh sorry, did I wake you up? Kissing Kaminari's forehead, did I forget to tell you Kirishima and Kaminari are dating, and it's been 1 year. Kaminari, hey, what are you doing? They are here. Whispering Kirishima, nah, they are sleeping, and if they see, what's the problem? I'm kissing my BF, not someone else. Pouting Kaminari, okay, now don't pout, go fresh up, I'm hungry, then let's go ask for snacks from Alex. Kirishima, okay my baby. Then they both went to fresh up. It's already 7 p.m. Everybody started getting fresh and coming down to the living room. Uraraka, hey guys, hey Alex. Alex, hello. Uraraka, where is your 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧? Is he resting? Alex, no, he didn't came yet. But Uraraka, no, I was just asking. 𝗕𝗏, what, it's 7 p.m. And he still didn't return, so unheroic. Alex, it's his house. He can come whenever he want, right? With deep voice 𝗧𝗓𝗧. Yeah, Alex, and young 𝗕𝗫𝗫 is wings. You do remember, right, that he is not some useless shits like you all. Bakugo, who are you calling useless, huh? Alex, you all accept them, pointing towards Kirishima, Kaminari, Mina Bakugo. Well, they were trained so they are stronger than others, but not me with attitude. Kirishima, oh really? Did you forget how I beat you just 4 or 5 days ago that you get unconscious smirking everyone? Bakugo, if any of you laugh I'll kill you. Alex, and if you try doing anything I'll kick you out. Bakugo, huh. What can a butler like you do? Alex, you wanna see? Bakugo, no, he suddenly started feeling chill all over his body. Alex, smirking. Kirishima, Alex, I'm hungry, can we get some snacks? Kaminari, yeah, me too. J-Ru, it would be great if we can get our food in our room, we don't want to eat with this things, pointing towards 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏 and Mina. Yes, suddenly remembering what they said before leaving you. Oh, and yeah, please tell your young 𝗕𝗫𝗫𝗃 to stay away from this. Alex, yeah, sure, you don't have to worry about that. Understanding what Mina meant, I'll send your snacks to your rooms, you go and relax. Then those 4 students went to their rooms, and after some time some maids brought snacks for them which they enjoyed to their heart contain, and like this 2 hours passed by. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, hey, it's already 9, still he didn't came back. Where is he? How can a future hero be like this? Alex, must have forgotten that he had guessed today. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, so unheroic. How can he forget such important information? Alex, STFU and go there, you're not someone important to be remembered about. Todoroki, is he ignoring us or it's his daily routine? Alex, ignoring Todoroki's question in call A, hello young 𝗕𝗫𝗫𝗃, when will you return? Why is everything okay? Yeah, it's all fine, you don't have to worry. It's just some mosquitoes are irritating me. What? Mosquitoes? Thinking face. Nothing. Nothing. Your guest has arrived. Guest. Which on no, oh no, I totally forget about them. Sorry Alex, I'm coming. Yeah, please come quickly. Yeah, I'll be there in half an HR. Okay young 𝗕𝗫𝗃𝗃, call ended. Bakugo, did you just call us mosquitoes? Alex, did I mention your name? Everyone. Alex went from there to prepare food for Izuku and his friends, and the UAs were watching TV in the living room, and half an HR passed by. Then they heard some cars were entering. 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏 thinking, must be the young Momo thinking, oh there he is. They door open, Izuku's gang started to enter, then a stick in the butt said 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, who are you? How dare you enter in someone else's house? Izumi, and who the F are you to tell whether I can come in my brother's house or not? Izuna, you all are just guests to stay like a guest. If you say something like this in front of Zuku, he will kill you. PP head. 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏, who is Zuku? Izumi, why do you care? Beach. Belly, Izumi, don't waste energy on some beach, okay? 𝗧𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗃 is coming with James, let's go to our rooms. Momo, what room? You all are staying here, and why are you calling the young 𝗕𝗫𝗫𝗃 your baby? Is he your BF? Belly, P. No, he's not my BF. Katrina, she's mine, okay? Killing intent. Belly, baby stop or else she's gone wet the sofa. Katrina, yeah, then Zuku will scold me. Why would I scold you? What have you done? Every one of UAs were searching for the voice which sound familiar yet unfamiliar. Bakugo recognized this voice, and in an instant he said, so you all were the exchange students. Bakugo, what are you doing here? Izuku, what do you mean? Bakugo, it's my house. 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏, what? How is this possible? So it means your wings. Momo, don't joke around. Deku, you're just a useless SHT, who run away cause of her. James, don't you dare call my is Deku or else you're gonna see the moon for the last time. Half activating his quirk. Izuku, James, calm down, okay? Patting his back, and you Momo F off. Why would I love that beach? I already have someone in my life. Pointing towards James. 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏, Deku, you are cheating on me. Izuku, STFU. Don't you dare call me Deku or else you'll see hell in a sec. And cheating, if I remember correctly, Bakugo's think was in you at that time, right? So who's cheating whom? 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏, I mean Izuku, please forgive me, he was blackmailing me that time. I really love you. Please don't do this with me. Fake tears. 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗏 thinking, I have to say sorry to this useless thing. I'll make Bakugo the villain. Deku will forgive me. I know he's lying about that guy being his BF. After I make things up with him, I'll kick that butler out first, then all this will be mine. Creepy smile. Izuku, Hey beach. Don't you have brains? I never liked you, that was just some stupid attraction, nothing else. What's true love I got to know thanks of 𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗆, so it's that beach that cheated on you 𝗧𝗑𝗍𝗵𝗆, F she looks like 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗵𝗆, Kelly, yeah even girls are not gonna like her. William, PFFF. Well I also don't want to flirt with potatoes. Essie except Izuku and William. Nice one William. 𝗎𝗪𝙢𝗍𝗪𝗆. How dare you? Izuku look they are making fun of me. Belly, hey beach you're so fake anyone can tell. Izuku, yeah you're right Belly. I don't know why I didn't see this 2 years ago. Jake, let's not waste our energy on this piece of shit's okay. Kirishima, Midobro is that you while coming down Mina. It's a 𝗬𝗵𝗲 Belly, hey I call him that and who are you? Izuku, guys you all are here too excited, why didn't you message me? Then Kirishima and Mina called Kaminari and 𝗎𝗪𝙢, they all came downstairs and hug Izuku. Izuku, hey guys meet my team AC. Kirishima, so you're the young Mr. Huh. Kaminari, wait that means your wings. Kirishima, wow man. Midobro so manly Izuna, hi. We'll have heard a lot about you all for Zuku. It's nice to meet you all finally. Mina, hello. Hey is 𝗬𝗵𝗲 introduction us. Izuku, oh yeah. Sorry I got too excited. So this are my you. A friends who helped me when I needed someone when I was going through hard time. This is Kirishima, this is Kaminari, this is Mina and this is 𝗎𝗪𝙢. And this is my gang, who helped me to move on from that situation, who helped me to meet my true self. This are my cousins as well as best friends Izuna and Izumi. This is Jake Izumi's BF, this are our badass twins Belly and Kelly, this is our beauty queen Katrina Belly's GF and that's our flirting machine William, and finally my one and only lifeline James. Kirishima, wow AC really is amazing, and Midobro you had a BF, why didn't you tell us? Izuku, did you tell me about you 𝗬𝗪𝗔𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗄 smile Kirishima, 𝗬𝗏𝗧. What are you talking about ignoring eye contact Izuku? You really think I didn't know about your feelings for Kaminari? Izuku, what? It's okay come on we don't care about sexuality. So tell us. Kirishima, so you knew huh? Fine then yeah now we are dating and Mina and 𝗎𝗪𝙢 knew about use only. Izuku, congratulations both of you. Kirishima and Kaminari, thanks and you too. And like this the four you. A's became friends with AC. They started chatting and forgot about the rest of the class. On the other hand Bakugo was shocked cause not only Izuku called him Bakugo and not Kaken, Izuku was dating someone and on top of that it's a guy, and Izuku was in contact with those four. Izuku didn't even look at him once. He was really shocked with all this, he didn't say a think and quietly went to his room. Izuku, so I'll give you 4 your separate room. If I had known you all are coming I would have prepared better room for you 4. And with that they became more and more close with the ACEs. Izuku gave Mina a room which feet here type. 𝗎𝗪𝙢 a room and Kirishima and Kaminari a room. Izuku, it's not a soundproof room keep that in mind smirking Kirishima, me Midobro blushing plus and like this they spend 3 hours chatting, telling how life was what happened, how life changes for them, and especially how they come together with their loved one. Alex, youngster it's already midnight you have school tomorrow so you should go to bed now Izuku, oh yeah thanks Alex for reminding. Let's go everyone. Third person's POV Izuku felt utterly drained. The day's interactions had left him mentally exhausted. He could hardly believe how talking to some people could sap so much energy. He wished he hadn't gone out at all, maybe then he could have avoided explaining why he was at his own house. Dealing with them is exhausting. Past Izuku you had it easy, he thought, exhaling a weary sigh. As his thoughts wandered, they settled on James, the one person who could always ground him, the one who knew how to lift the weight off his shoulders with just a few words. He was grateful for James, more than words could convey. But where was he? Izuku wondered, glancing around. Just then, he heard the bathroom door open, and his heart skipped a beat as he looked up. James stepped out, steam drifting around him, with only a towel slung around his waist. Izuku's POV James is looking incredibly hot with a towel wrapped around his waist. I felt a surge of longing wash over me. Today had been exhausting and now, just seeing James like this is making me feel incredibly corny. I can't help but think about how much I want to taste James fully, imagining what it would be like to have his 10-inch PP deep in my throat. The thought sent shivers down to my spine. I'm aware that James was on the phone with Izumi, who would surely lecture them tomorrow if she found out about this moment. But right now, I don't care. We'll handle that later. All I wanted was to savor the sweetness of James come in my mouth. James POV. I was chatting with Jake and Izumi about an assignment. We were in a group set up by our homeroom teacher. I had the speaker on because I was using the dryer when suddenly Iz showed up. I thought maybe he needed something, so I moved to the side, but he walked right over me. I thought, what is he doing? My phone is on speaker, and Izumi is talking. Oh my goodness, I don't want to hear her lecture first thing in the morning. Suddenly he got on his knees and I knew what he was gonna do. He looked up at me and started to take off the towel. I stood there and didn't mind him giving me a head since I had a tough day with those UA idiots, and cooling down is for not kill them. It's a really hard job if you have seen the angry Iz. He removed the towel and I kicked them away to God's knows where. I then feel myself getting harder and harder by Iz started licking my clothes PP. Yeah, he was wearing underwear under the towel. I tried not to make any sound as it started to feel amazing. And oh Jake, it not this. I heard Izumi telling it Jake on the other side of the phone. Iz pulled out my PP out of the boxers and it almost hit his face. I smirked down at him as he saw how hard I was. He started licking my PP and swirled his tongue around the top. Thank God they didn't hurt me. Jake and Izumi were arguing about a topic which I don't care what now. As I started groaning and a bit more, I heard the phone getting quiet, so I thought they had hung up, but they didn't. Jake, bro, what's wrong? Teasing tone. James, FCK nothing, shut up. I am out. I gripped Iz's hair and pushed him deeper and face him. And I just hung up the phone. Threw it on the floor. I don't care if it's broke or something. After I came, I threw Iz onto the bed and easy him off. I'm gonna F you real F good babe, I said as we are both naked now. He looked up to me with his big CC innocent eyes and bit his lips. God, he's so CC and innocent at the same time. I took a bit of lube on two of my fingers and inserted it into Iz. James? Though that was not what he's supposed to call me. That's not my name, Angel, I said and smirked at him as I shoved one more finger into his entrance. He loudly as I started Daddy. He loudly and came all over his stomach and a little bit on mine too. Baby, coming off for just fingering. I seductively whispered and pulled out my fingers. He whined. I kissed his forehead before adjusting the tip of my PP at his entrance. Quirk training. Aizawa's POV. The problem children from Japan had only been here a day, and today, they'd be facing their first quirk battle. This whole idea came from All Might himself apparently. He wasn't satisfied with the hellish training they'd already endured back in Japan. Not that it mattered to me. They had yet to realize the extent of what they'd gotten themselves into, and with their current attitude, I questioned if they'd ever make it as true heroes. I'd already warned them not to underestimate the kids they'd be sparring against. These were the top 9 students of this academy, each talented enough to hold their own against some pro heroes. Most of my group except for my loudest problem child took my advice seriously. They looked tense, focused, even nervous. The ones they'd be fighting, however, were running late. The teacher here, Nick, told me this was standard behavior for them. What caught me off guard was the mention of my former student, Izuku, being ranked first among these 9. His tardiness was a surprise, considering his usual punctuality. I knew he had been through a lot since leaving Japan, but it seemed he'd found the people he truly deserved. Rumor had it he had changed in more ways than one. If you were on his good side, he was as angelic as ever, but to those who crossed him, he was nothing short of Lucifer himself. His homeroom teacher, Nick, had shared as much with me. Aizawa, Nick interrupted my thoughts. Why so deep in thought? Just wondering when they'll finally get here. Nick chuckled, shaking his head. They're always like this. But don't worry, they'll be here any second now. Just then, the sound of footsteps echoed from the entrance of the training hall. I looked up to see 9 students approaching us, a tight-knit group, walking in step like they were born to be a team. At the front, leading the way, was Izuku. He had an air of confidence that I hadn't seen before. He was holding hands with a tall boy who looked at him with a calm but protective gaze. I remembered overhearing yesterday that this was his boyfriend. The sight of him, the way he moved with this new group, only deepened my curiosity. I couldn't help but wonder what All Might would think when he saw how much his student had grown and changed. The problem child seemed to have become even more of a force to be reckoned with. Third person's POV. Nick's voice broke through the chatter as the students gathered in the training hall. "All right, everyone listen up. Here they are," he announced, nodding toward the approaching group. "Now, let me lay out the pairs and rules." He glanced around, his expression serious. "Rules are simple. You have to either knock out your opponent or throw them out of the ring. And," he added, pointing to the group of elite students known as the Aces, "don't go overboard." Nick continued, listing the matchups. William vs. Kaminari, Jake vs. Kirishima, vs. Momo, Kelly vs. Mina, Katrina vs. Jiro, Izumi vs. Uraraka, Izuna vs. Iida, James vs. Todoroki, and finally Izuku vs. Bakugo. Nick's gaze swept over the crowd. "This is also the order in which you'll fight. Got it?" Bakugo's face twisted in irritation. "But I have to go against that useless nerd." Nick raised an eyebrow. "Useless? Who? Izuku Midoriya. Is this student of yours an escapee from a mental hospital?" Bakugo bristled, shouting, "Did you just call me mental?" Nick gave a half smirk, clearly unfazed. "You're calling Izuku's mind useless. If anyone's delusional here, it's you." Bakugo growled. "He's Ozless Deku." Nick's voice grew cold. "Keep talking, and I'll be tempted to rip that mouth of yours right off." Iida stepped forward, visibly uncomfortable. "Sir, that's unheroic of you. You're a pro hero, you shouldn't say things like that to a hero in training." "This doesn't say, please." Aizawa's expression was as calm as ever. "What? Just follow the rules quietly. Why make such a fuss?" he said, activating his quirk with a slight glare. Bakugo and Iida both froze, their defiance fading. "Okay," they mumbled in unison. Nick nodded, satisfied. "All right, if that's clear, let's begin. William and Kaminari, step up. The rest of you move to the seats." The fights unfolded quickly, each battle intense in its own way. Jiro, Mina, Kaminari, and Kirishima put up a strong fight, forcing the Aces to use nearly 50% of their power. But for others, including Uraraka, Momo, Iida, Bakugo, and Todoroki, the matches barely lasted 40 seconds. One by one, the victories were called. William vs. Kaminari. William wins. Jake vs. Kirishima. Jake wins. Belly vs. Momo. Belly wins. Kelly vs. Mina. Kelly wins. Katrina vs. Jiro. Katrina wins. Izumi vs. Uraraka. Izumi wins, with little mercy for makeup box Uraraka. Izuna vs. Iida. Izuna wins. James vs. Todoroki. James wins in just 10 seconds. Izuku vs. Bakugo. Izuku wins. Though Izuku used only 10% of his power, his victory over Bakugo was swift and undeniable. Bakugo's face was flushed with anger and disbelief. "Impossible. That nerd must have cheated." Nick sighed, unimpressed. "You again, or else, how could he win so easily?" Bakugo continued, fuming. James, one of the Aces, scoffed. "Lucky for you, Izuku went easy on you and only used 10% of his power." Bakugo's frustration deepened as he processed that. 10%. The thought simmered, and a hint of doubt crept in. It was true Deku had held back, and it infuriated him. But if that was just 10%, how much stronger had he become? Izuku waved a hand in front of Bakugo's face, snapping him out of his daze. "Hey, back to reality, Kaken." Bakugo clicked his tongue, muttering under his breath as he turned and stalked off, unwilling to let his pride crumble further in front of the crowd. Bakugo's POV in the changing room. Deku really has changed a lot. When I saw him yesterday, laughing with his boyfriend, I felt a pang of regret so deep it was like a knife twisting in my chest. I regretted every decision I'd made over the past 2 years. If I hadn't gone along with Uraraka's plan, if I hadn't chosen to push him away, if I'd just been honest about how I felt, maybe he'd be with me now instead of James. We could have been like that, together, happy, just like I always wanted, even if I'd been too stubborn to admit it. All those decisions I made regarding Deku, I wish I could undo them. If I hadn't tried to bury my feelings, if I'd confessed instead of resorting to bullying back in middle school, maybe things would be different. Instead, he's built a life that I'm not part of. A life that I wish, desperately, I could share. Deku and I could have been something. But that's gone now. And I have only myself to blame. But maybe there's still a chance to fix things. Even if it's small, even if he can never see me the way I wish he would, I just don't want him to hate me. I can't stand that look in his eyes, filled with disgust and resentment. I want him to look at me the way he used to, back when he looked up to me. Back when he called me Kaken. No one else has called me that since he left. I made sure of it. And now I'm here, taking a breath, hoping that this will be my chance to make things right. Bakugo took a shaky breath as he looked at Izuku, his mind racing. Deku no, I mean Izuku, he managed, though his voice faltered. It had been years since he'd felt this uncertain, and facing Izuku now changed, hardened, and undeniably different made the words catch in his throat. Izuku's eyes narrowed, a small, bitter smirk pulling at his lips. There it is again. Deku, he replied, his tone dripping with contempt. He paused, letting the tension hang between them before continuing, his gaze sharp and unyielding. Actually no. Go ahead and call me Deku. I don't want to hear my name from that disgusting mouth of yours. The words were cold and final, each one cutting into Bakugo like a blade, and he felt the weight of his past mistakes bearing down on him. A sickening ache twisted in his chest, yet he stood firm, knowing he had to push through, even if it hurt. Just as Bakugo opened his mouth to respond, James stepped forward, gently resting a hand on Izuku's shoulder. Take a breath. It's okay, he murmured softly, pressing a calming kiss to Izuku's forehead. Izuku's expression softened slightly, though his eyes remained guarded. With a deep, shaky breath, Izuku's hard exterior eased if only slightly. Yeah, he muttered, though the tension remained thick in the air. Bakugo watched, feeling a mix of guilt and relief. For a moment, he glimpsed the person he once knew, and it gave him the strength to press on. Swallowing down the lump in his throat, Bakugo forced himself to speak. Izuku, I want to apologize. His voice broke as the words slipped out, thick with emotion. He saw Izuku's eyes widen in shock, as though he hadn't expected those words from him. What? Izuku's voice was soft, almost disbelieving, his usual guard momentarily faltering. Bakugo's heart pounded, and he felt himself on the edge of something that might break him open. Something he'd never allowed himself to feel. Yeah, he continued, swallowing hard. I wanted to apologize for everything I did to you. From middle school and 2 years ago. His voice cracked, and he could feel the tears gathering, threatening to spill over. He forced himself to continue, desperation coating his every word. Please call me Kaken, like you used to. Please. Izuku's expression wavered, emotions flickering across his face. There was pain, anger, and if Bakugo dared hope, a faint glimmer of sympathy buried deep within. But he could see it clear as day, that a part of Izuku still bore the scars of what he had done. Izuku took a steadying breath, his voice firm but trembling. I don't know if I want to. After everything, he trailed off, glancing away, his gaze clouded with bitterness, yet something else, something softer lingered in his eyes. Bakugo's heart clenched, recognizing the weight of everything he'd put Izuku through, understanding how much he'd hurt him. Sensing the tension, James stepped forward once more. Maybe you should just hear him out, he said gently, his voice a balm in the heavy silence. I'm not saying forgive him, but he seems like he's really trying. At least give him that. Izuku looked at James, and his hardened front softened, if only slightly. He nodded, exhaling a long sigh before pulling James into a hug. You're the best, James. I don't know what I'd do without you, he murmured, his voice filled with gratitude. As James stepped out of the room to give them space, Bakugo felt a mix of terror and relief. This was his chance, maybe his only chance, and he knew how much he had to lose. But perhaps, just perhaps, he could find a way back to what he'd thrown away. Izuku turned back to him, crossing his arms, his expression guarded yet open enough for Bakugo to see a faint glimmer of willingness. "So," he asked, his voice laced with skepticism. "Why now? Why do you want to apologize all of a sudden?" Bakugo's heart raced. He knew the answer, and it sat heavy on his tongue, aching to be released. Meeting Izuku's piercing gaze, he felt the weight of years of regret, and for the first time, he was ready to face it, whatever the outcome. Third person's POV. As the tension in the room thickened, Bakugo took a deep breath and began speaking, bearing every detail he'd buried for years. He recounted it all: how he'd gone along with Uraraka's plan to get close to Izuku, his confused feelings since middle school, and why he'd bullied him back then. The raw confession spilled out, words tumbling over each other, thick with pain and vulnerability. Bakugo's face flushed as he admitted, "Izuku, I've loved you since middle school." His voice cracked, and before he could stop himself, he pulled Izuku into a hug. "I love you so much." Izuku stood stunned, his breath catching. Bakugo's arms held him tightly, and he felt the tremble in Bakugo's body, the weight of his confession. Memories flashed through Izuku's mind, from their years of rivalry to this unexpected moment. And as he saw Bakugo crying for the first time, something in him softened. Izuku found himself hugging back, letting his own tears fall. Bakugo's shoulders shook in surprise as he realized Izuku was returning the embrace. He let out a small laugh, overwhelmed and disbelieving. "Please," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion, "call me Kaken just like before." Izuku hesitated, but the familiarity warmed him. "Kaken," he said softly. Bakugo pulled back slightly, a genuine smile breaking through his tears. "Hearing that from you again, it feels incredible." They broke apart, and Izuku looked down, almost shy. "You know, if you told me back in middle school, I would have said yes then." He smiled, a hint of mischief flickering in his gaze. Bakugo's eyes widened, his face turning a shade redder than Kirishima's hair. Really?" "Of course," Izuku replied with a quiet chuckle. "I had a crush on you too. And I knew, deep down, you didn't mean to hurt me. It was just I don't know. I always thought you had your reasons." He shrugged, feeling a strange sense of peace. "You were the reason others didn't mess with me. In a way, you protected me." Unbeknownst to them, James had overheard the entire exchange from the hallway. His chest tightened, and a quiet pain seeped through him as he slipped away, hoping Izuku wouldn't notice. He didn't stop until he reached the parking lot, feeling as though his heart might shatter. When he got into his car, he drove off, emotions swirling chaotically within him. Izuku took a deep breath as he turned to Bakugo, his words confident and unwavering. "Sorry, Kaken, but I have someone else in my life now. I love him deeply. He's shown me what true love is. Without him, I wouldn't be who I am today. He's everything to me. I can die for him. I can go against the entire world for him." Bakugo felt a pang in his chest, and he forced a small smile, though his heart ached. "Guess I missed my chance, huh? But it still feels good to have told you. I'll try to move on. Maybe someday, I'll find someone who'll love me like you love him. That guy's really lucky, Izuku." Izuku softened. "I'm sorry for how I acted today." "It's okay, nerd. We're good." Izuku gave him a tentative smile. "Friends." Bakugo chuckled, shoving his hands in his pockets. "Yeah, friends." As Izuku waved goodbye, a sudden pang of worry struck him. He turned to look for James, but his heart sank when he realized his boyfriend was gone. His stomach twisted with a growing sense of dread as he scanned the area. "Hey, Jake, Izumi," he called, breathless. "Have you seen James?" Both shook their heads, concern creasing their brows. Kelly, overhearing, chimed in, "I saw him head toward the parking lot. He might have left." Izuku's heart raced. He grabbed his sister Izumi's car keys, muttering a quick, "thanks," and sped off to James's house, dread gnawing at him the entire way. Within 15 minutes, he arrived and burst into the house, breathless. James, where are you?" The butler, Alex, appeared from the hallway. "Our James is in the guest room, sir." Izuku's heart sank further. He headed down the hall, his footsteps echoing. Reaching the door, he paused, steeling himself before pushing it open. James, he called, the door slamming against the wall. James sat on the edge of the bed, his head in his hands, shoulders shaking. He looked up, startled, his eyes red and tear-streaked. What are you doing here? Without a word, Izuku crossed the room and wrapped his arms around James, pulling him into a fierce hug. James stiffened, but then melted into the embrace, burying his face in Izuku's shoulder. Is this our last hug? James whispered, his voice cracking. Izuku pulled back, shocked. What? Why would you say that? James's voice trembled. I heard what you said to him, to Bakugo. You have feelings for him. You deserve to be happy, Izuku. If he's what you want, James, shut up, Izuku snapped, his tone sharp, frustration seeping into his words. His heart twisted painfully, unable to comprehend how James could think he'd ever leave him. What are you even talking about? James took a shaky breath, staring at the floor. Izuku, I want you to be with who makes you happiest. You're free now. The word struck Izuku like a slap. He stared at James, unable to process what he was hearing. The weight of James's words bore down on him, his mind racing as he tried to find the right words. Just then, Bakugo entered the room, leaning against the doorframe with his arms crossed. Oi, you think you can just dump him, huh? He said, voice tinged with a mix of annoyance and amusement. James looked up, startled. What are you doing here, Bakugo? You're here to take him back, aren't you? Bakugo scoffed, pushing himself off the doorframe. Nah, I'm just here to knock some sense into you. You're a lucky guy, James. Don't go throwing it away over a stupid misunderstanding. Izuku turned to Bakugo. Kaken, leave. Bakugo raised his hands in mock surrender, smirking. Fine. Just don't mess this up, alright, nerd. He cast a meaningful look at James. And you don't go screwing things up, or I might just change my mind. After Bakugo left, Izuku sighed, the frustration returning as he looked back at James. Why would you think I'd leave you? He demanded, his voice a mix of anger and hurt. You're my world, James. I told him that. How could you think I'd ever be with someone else? James looked away, remorse written all over his face. I'm sorry, I just panicked. I don't know what I'd do without you. Izuku's expression softened, and he took James's hands in his own. Listen to me, and listen carefully. You're my everything. You're the one I want. Never doubt that. James swallowed hard, nodding, relief washing over him. He wrapped his arms around Izuku, holding him tightly. I'm sorry, I'll never doubt you again. Just then, Bakugo's head popped in through the door. So, you two lovebirds done. Izuku rolled his eyes, smirking. Actually, Kaken, since James here decided to break up with me, I think I'll take you up on that offer. James's eyes widened. What? No, Izuku, I was wrong. Don't joke like that. Bakugo grinned. Told ya I'd steal him if you didn't step up. He wrapped an arm around Izuku, who played along, leaning into him with a mischievous smile. James stared at them, flustered. No. Is this mine? Bakugo laughed, finally releasing Izuku. Relax, man. I wouldn't actually steal him from you. Izuku broke into laughter too, nudging James. You really need to stop jumping to conclusions. James managed a weak chuckle, blushing. You scared me. Plus Izuku grinned, giving James a playful shove. Baka, how could you think I'd ever leave you? That evening, when everyone gathered, Jake, Izumi, Izuna, William, and the UA friends Aizu recounted the entire story, every funny, heart-wrenching detail, including how Bakugo had apologized. Jake and William teased James, repeating, "You're free now," over and over, while Izuna and Izumi made sure to give Bakugo a light beating for old time's sake, venting years of frustration for every past bullying incident. Izuku smiled, basking in the warmth of his friends and the love of his boyfriend, knowing that, no matter what, they had each other's backs. Month later, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, it's been 7 months since we arrived in America. In that time, I've grown close to the Aces team, well, all of them except James. James is undeniably jealous of the friendship I share with Izuku, and I can't exactly blame him. He's always been head over heels when it comes to Izuku. At first, I had a small crush on Izuku, But that was before I knew about him and James. I've long since moved on from those feelings. Still, I can't resist teasing James. I'll occasionally flirt with Izuku just to push his buttons, and Izuku plays along, faking a bashful blush just to drive his boyfriend crazy, this devil boy. James, of course, always sees right through us, but it still gets under his skin, which makes it all the more fun. Kirishima, Kaminari, Mina, J and I transferred to the American branch of 𝗕𝗏, thanks to Aizawa-sensei and All Might pulling a few strings. The transition has been smoother than I expected, with all of us settling into our new routines and adjusting to the different environment. All Might, however, couldn't stay long. Just 2 days after we arrived, news came in that the League of Villains was attacking 𝗕𝗏 back in Japan. Naturally, they needed his help, so he had to return to Japan to deal with the crisis. We were sad to see him go, but we understood. The threat was serious, and his presence was vital. The tension between James and me remains, though it's mostly playful. I understand his protective nature, but deep down he trusts Izuku and is falling for him more day by day. Still, it's hard not to poke fun at him, especially when Izuku makes it so easy with those exaggerated blushes and flustered expressions. Third person's POV: Izuku and his friends were at school, assisting Kirishima, Kaminari, Mina, J and Bakugo with their quirk training. While the others actively helped with the exercises, Izuku observed from the sidelines, watching his friends' progress with pride. The atmosphere was light-hearted, with everyone focusing on their techniques. However, in the midst of the training, Izuku suddenly sensed something, an ominous presence that sent a chill down his spine. Without warning, he rushed to the nearest window, followed quickly by the others. His eyes widened in alarm as he spotted a group of villains attacking buildings in the distance. Their quirks wreaked havoc, destroying everything in their path, and though some heroes were already engaged in combat, they were struggling against the sheer number of villains. "We have to help," Izuku said, his voice firm with determination. The group quickly formulated a plan. Izuna and William took the lead, using their Demon's Blessing and animal taming quirks to create a massive distraction. Animals from the nearby area, under William's control, charged toward the villains, while Izuna's demonic energy loomed over the battlefield, casting an aura of fear and confusion. Taking advantage of the chaos, the rest of the group moved into position. Izuku and his friends managed to surprise the villains from behind, striking with precision. However, the villains were relentless, retaliating with deadly force. The battle was fierce, each villain using their quirks with the intent to kill, but the group held their ground. Amidst the chaos, Izumi darted from one wounded civilian to another, using her angel quirk to heal the injured. Her hands glowed with a soft light, mending broken bones and soothing pain. She noticed children crying in fear and, without hesitation, activated her mind control quirk, calming their panicked minds. "Stay calm," she whispered softly, her voice echoing in their minds like a warm embrace. Meanwhile, Jake, who had been invisible the entire time, was by Izumi's side, ensuring no villain got close to her. Whenever an enemy approached, he would either drop heavy objects on them with his telekinesis or engage them in direct combat, catching them completely off guard. On the other side of the battlefield, Kelly unleashed a nightmare upon the villains. Having copied Izuna's nightmare quirk, she showed them visions of their worst fears, an endless hellscape that paralyzed them with terror. Their screams filled the air as they were mentally broken by the horrifying illusions. Belly and Katrina focused on protecting the students who had been caught in the crossfire. Sensing that the villains were far stronger than those they had previously encountered, Katrina used her rewind quirk to reverse time, erasing some villains from existence entirely. Belly, wielding her daggers with deadly precision, fought directly, using her blood curdle quirk to immobilize any who dared approach her. With their coordinated attacks, Izuna and William rejoined the battle, laughing as they started a competition to see who could take down more villains. Izuna's Demon's Blessing enveloped her, her power radiating like a dark storm, while William summoned a massive dragon he had tamed long ago. The two wreaked havoc on the battlefield, their destructive power turning the tide in favor of the heroes. However, the real challenge came when All for One himself appeared on the battlefield. With a single, devastating punch, he caught Izuku off guard, sending him flying back. The force of the blow knocked the wind out of him, and as he struggled to stand, Izuku looked up and saw All for One, radiating power like a black sun. "You're still standing." All for One smirked, his voice dripping with menace. Izuku, his chest heaving, activated both his demon and angel quirks simultaneously. His fists glowed with power, a fierce light of determination shining in his eyes. Without hesitation, he charged forward, throwing a flurry of punches at the villain. Each strike landed with tremendous force, shaking the ground beneath them. But All for One was no easy opponent. He countered with his own devastating quirk combinations, the battlefield crackling with energy as their powers collided. James, refusing to leave Izuku's side, used his shadow control and telekinesis to create openings for his boyfriend. Dark tendrils of shadow ensnared All for One, giving Izuku moments to attack. The two fought side by side, perfectly in sync, their combined powers pushing the villain to his limits. The battle reached a fever pitch as All for One, enraged, unleashed a series of devastating attacks. But Izuku, with his angel quirk, continuously healed himself and James, refusing to back down despite the injuries he sustained. The strain of the fight was immense, both sides pushing beyond their limits. "Izuku!" James called out, his voice filled with concern as a massive energy blast sent Izuku crashing into a nearby building. "I'm fine," Izuku shouted back, his determination unwavering. He wiped the BLD from his face and stood tall, his fists glowing with raw power. With a final burst of energy, Izuku activated every quirk at his disposal, the air around him crackling with unimaginable force. James, using his shadows to support him, nodded in silent agreement. They had one last shot to end this. With a roar, Izuku charged forward, his fists glowing with divine energy. He landed the final blow, a punch so powerful it sent All for One flying across the battlefield, crashing into the debris with a deafening explosion. The villain, for all his power, was finally defeated. James rushed to Izuku's side, catching him just before he collapsed from exhaustion. "You okay, Iz?" James asked, his voice soft with concern. Izuku, barely able to keep his eyes open, smiled weakly. "Yeah, just a little sleepy." James chuckled, pressing a gentle kiss to Izuku's forehead. "You were incredible out there. I couldn't have done this without you." "You were amazing too, James," Izuku murmured. "Thank you." Before he could finish his sentence, Izuku fell asleep in James's arms, completely drained. Just then, Izuna and Izumi came running over, their faces full of concern. "Zuku," they called out. "Shoo, he's sleeping," James said softly, cradling Izuku. Izuna sighed with relief. "He must be exhausted after that." "Yeah, but he looks so cute while sleeping," Izumi added with a warm smile. Kelly walked over, shaking her head with a smile. "Let's get him inside." The group moved back into the building, careful not to wake Izuku. Belly and Katrina were waiting for them, running up to hug everyone. "We did it. We won," Belly exclaimed, beaming with pride. "And we caught 4 villains for interrogation." "You guys were amazing out there," Kelly said, rubbing her temples. "But I need a break. That was intense." Izuna grinned and turned to William. "Now about that bet. You owe me, William. I beat more villains than you." William groaned. "Yeah, one more than me, and now I have to pay up." As the group laughed and teased each other, they handed over the captured villains to the other heroes. Excusing themselves from the media, they retreated inside, letting the world celebrate the victory while they rested. Izuku, the sleeping hero, remained the heart of their strength, resting peacefully in James's protective embrace. Mina's POV: it's been a week since that intense battle with all those villains. Things haven't fully calmed down, there are still some attacks, but the villains now don't have the same strength. But what stuck with me the most wasn't just the fights. It was watching 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃 and AC in action. They were incredible, almost untouchable. Seeing them fight made me realize just how far behind we are. If it had been us up against that many villains, I'm not sure we would have made it. Even Bakugo, of all people, didn't yell or brag about blowing them up that day. He just stood there, quietly watching Izuku. I guess even he noticed it, the huge gap between them and us. I feel kinda useless. As I was heading downstairs, I spotted Kirishima and Kaminari deep in conversation, their expressions unusually serious. Curious, I approached them. "Hey, what's up, guys?" I asked, trying to keep things light. Kirishima turned to me and smiled, but there was still a weight in his voice when he spoke. "We're talking about ACE," he said. I blinked in surprise. "About them?" "What?" Kaminari chimed in, his usual carefree tone missing. "You saw them that day, right? The difference between us and them, it's huge. We were thinking maybe we should ask Midoriya to help us train personally. And maybe, if we work hard enough, he could bring us along on some of their missions." Before I could respond, Bakugo suddenly appeared, his voice low but firm. "That's a good idea. I noticed it too. My hands were itching to fight, but I knew I'd only get in their way," he admitted, surprising all of us. Even Bakugo had recognized the gap between us and AC. Jdru, who had been listening quietly, nodded in agreement. "Yeah, you're all right. I want to be able to fight like them too, to save as many people as I can." Hearing them all talk like this stirred something inside me, sense of determination that had been buried beneath my doubts. I grinned, my excitement bubbling up as I spoke. "Then what are we waiting for? Let's go." We were all feeling the same thing, this need to push ourselves beyond what we thought was possible. It was time to step up. Months later, 3 months had passed since Izuku and his group had created a hellish training routine for their 5 new friends. The intensity of the training had skyrocketed, and the results were starting to show. During these months, waves of villains had attacked them, seeking revenge for the death of 𝗷𝗓𝗏. The 5 new recruits would often take on these villains as part of their training, though when the situation got out of hand, ACE would step in. Truth be told, only one member of ACE was usually enough to handle these villains now. Since that major battle, ACE had grown more powerful and renowned, becoming not only the top heroes of America but the entire world. Yes, you read that right, the world. Their fame was soaring. First place went to Izuku, now known as Wings. Second was James, dubbed Shadow. Third place was shared by Izuna and Izumi. Fourth was Jake. Fifth belonged to Kelly and Belly, the twin duo. Sixth went to William and Katrina. These 6 rankings had been completely taken over by the members of ACE, and their feats were nothing short of legendary. They had even received early graduation from American U. High School, although they still occasionally returned to teach combat lessons to students. Meanwhile, Bakugo, Kirishima, Kaminari, Mina, and Jdru had also made tremendous progress. They formed a team called 5 Crows and had risen to the top 20 heroes in America, where they had transferred. With every villain they fought off, their reputations grew stronger. They were no longer ranked on the Japan hero list, but their standing in America spoke volumes about their power. As for the remaining students, things hadn't changed much. Uraraka and Momo were still trying to win Izuku's heart, while Iida remained his usual self, constantly trying to lecture Izuku and his crew. Todoroki, however, had taken a step back. After witnessing the fierce battle between Izuku, James, and 𝗷𝗓𝗏, he had decided to keep his distance, especially from Izuku. He had warned the others, but of course, they never listened. One day, Uraraka spotted Izuku and made her move. "Hey, Izuku, wanna hang out with me?" she purred, her voice playful. Izuku's face remained blank, his mouth hanging open slightly as he stared at her. Some orange juice was dripping from his lips, giving him an odd, spaced-out expression. "What happened, Izuku? Don't you want to spend time with me?" She flirted, trying to make him focus on her. Izuku's expression suddenly shifted as an idea popped into his head, a devilish smirk creeping onto his face. "Yeah, I do," he replied, his voice full of mischief. Uraraka's heart leaped. Finally, she thought, just give me 10 minutes. I'll get ready." She chirped, practically skipping off. "Now's my chance," Uraraka thought gleefully. "After 10 long months, I'll finally make him mine. And then money, money, money." Her eyes sparkled with greed. When she returned, dressed to impress, She noticed Izuku waiting for her, looking unusually charming, not his typical cute, hot, or godlike self, but more casual and somehow more approachable. She smiled, thinking he had changed for her. "Let's go," she said sweetly, reaching for his hand. "Yeah, I know a really great 5-star restaurant nearby," Izuku said smoothly, his evil grin hidden from her view. Excited, Uraraka practically dragged him along, eager for what she thought would be her victory. "Really? Let's go, let's go." After an extravagant lunch, Izuku excused himself. "I'll be right back, just going to the restroom. Then I'll pay, and we can head out for some shopping." Uraraka waved him off, her head swimming with thoughts of all the luxuries she was about to enjoy. But as the minutes ticked by, Izuku never returned. Instead, he was already outside, meeting up with his real love, James, who was waiting for him at the back door. "Finally you're here," James said with a soft smile. "Yup," Izuku replied, grinning wickedly. "Now that beach will know what it's like to flirt with me." James chuckled, pulling Izuku into a gentle embrace. "You little devil," he murmured, kissing Izuku on the forehead, cheeks, and finally, passionately on the lips. "But you're right, she deserved it. No one flirts with my love. You're mine and mine alone." Meanwhile, Uraraka sat in the restaurant, oblivious to Izuku's plan. She believed he was coming back any moment, and that soon, she'd be enjoying a shopping spree on his dime. But 20 minutes passed, and the waiter approached with the bill. Uraraka waved him off. "Oh, my partner will pay," she said confidently. But the waiter only shook his head. "Ma'am, your partner left a while ago. He also mentioned that you would be paying for everything." Uraraka's face drained of color. No, impossible. He couldn't have." The waiter remained firm. "Ma'am, please pay the bill." After arguing for another 20 minutes, the manager was called. Uraraka, desperate, claimed that Izuku must have left for something important and would be back soon. The manager, however, had other instructions. He pulled out his phone and made a call. The call was brief. "Hello, sir," the manager whispered into the phone. "Yes," a calm voice replied. "It's about the guest. What should I do?" "Just follow the rules," the voice on the other end said, Izuku's voice. "Are you sure?" "Absolutely. And don't worry, I'll handle my dad. Remember what I said." "Understood, young 𝗵𝘃𝗲. I'll make sure she works for a week," the manager said, smirking slightly. "Perfect. Have fun. Bye," Izuku said before hanging up. The manager turned back to Uraraka, his expression neutral. "Ma'am, I've just spoken to our boss. You don't have to pay the bill." Relief flooded Uraraka's face. "Really? Your boss is so kind. What's his age? Is he single?" she added, her voice turning sickeningly sweet. The manager cut her off sharply. "Listen, you don't have to pay, but you will be cleaning the restaurant, every plate, every table, the entire restaurant for a whole week. Or we can call the police. Your choice." Uraraka's face turned pale. No police. I'll do it," she stammered. And so, for an entire week, Uraraka scrubbed and cleaned the restaurant, her pride shattered. She quickly realized that it had all been part of Izuku's plan, but she couldn't do anything about it. To make matters worse, Izuna and Izumi had taken pictures of her cleaning and blackmailed her into staying away from Izuku, threatening to release the photos if she didn't comply. As for Momo, she wasn't spared either. Despite Uraraka's attempts to warn her, Momo continued her pursuit of Izuku, convinced she could win his heart. Since Izuku's fame skyrocketed as the world's #1 hero, Momo couldn't help but grow more and more obsessed with him. It wasn't just his charm that enticed her anymore, it was his fame, his power, and his wealth. The idea of being with the most famous hero in the world made her hunger for everything he represented, and she became determined to make him hers by any means necessary. The fact that he was already with James didn't matter to her. Momo wanted it all. One evening, consumed by her greed, she devised a sinister plan. She would drag Izuku at an upcoming charity gala and make it look like they had spent the night together. She believed that if the story spread, Izuku would have no choice but to break things off with James and claim her as his girlfriend, sealing her position by his side forever. But Momo's overconfidence proved to be her downfall. Unknown to her, Izuna and Izumi had overheard her entire scheme while they were sneaking around backstage at the venue, making preparations for their own mischief. The twins, protective of their brother and always one step ahead, were outraged by Momo's audacity and immediately decided they needed to stop her plan in its tracks. Not only would they foil Momo's drugging scheme, but they also decided to give her a taste of her own medicine publicly and humiliatingly. On weekend, Momo had attended a prestigious charity gala, a high society event on American filled with Japan's elite. Izuna and Izumi knew this was the perfect opportunity to make their move. Disguising themselves as part of the event's staff, they secretly tampered with Momo's evening dress before it was delivered to her. The dress was subtly rigged to fall apart when she made any exaggerated movements, something inevitable at such an important event where she would likely dance and socialize. Momo arrived at the gala, looking elegant and confident, her eyes set on Izuku, who was attending with James. She imagined this would be the perfect chance to get closer to him and make a memorable impression. As the night wore on, she finally found an opening to approach Izuku. But just as she reached out to grab his attention, the disastrous prank set in motion. Momo made a graceful twirl as part of her conversation with some influential guests, and to her horror, the seams of her appealing gown started to unravel, thread by thread. In a matter of seconds, her once stunning attire was reduced to shreds, leaving her standing in nothing but her undergarments in the middle of the grand ballroom. The crowd gasped, whispers spread like wildfire, and cameras flashed from every direction, capturing the scene as Momo frantically tried to cover herself. Mortified, she attempted to flee, but the doors were blocked by curious guests, while the mischievous twins observed from a hidden corner, holding back their laughter. To add to her humiliation, a large banner unfurled from the ceiling, displaying the words, "Maybe next time, think twice before chasing what's already taken," signed by none other than Izuna and Izumi. The entire hall erupted in laughter, and Momo, burning with shame, bolted out of the venue. The prank was a resounding success, and Momo never dared to approach Izuku again. The twins had made their point crystal clear: no one messes with their brother without facing the consequences. Weeks later, peace finally returned to Izuku's life. Uraraka, Ida, Momo, and Todoroki had left you. And with them gone, the atmosphere around ACE felt lighter. For once, Izuku and his siblings could focus on their lives without distraction. And for Uraraka and Momo, well, they had learned that messing with Izuku and his crew came at a very high price.